Hey, everybody. What's going on? It's a Monday night broadcast of Tone Talk. How are you? This is Mark Uzansky, and we've got Dave Freedman and Mark from Tone Talk, along with Sammy Boller. How are you, Sammy? What's going on?
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. It's happening.
Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. And Dave, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I think I'm relatively recovered from my weekend.
Cool party. That's cool. That's cool. Sammy, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate you, shifting your schedule around. Make sure you can join us.
Oh, no problem, man. It's an honor. I've watched a bunch of these before, so it's cool to finally be on.
Very cool. Let me check the chat. Okay, we got people there. People are watching. So
some people from Detroit, I see.
Oh yeah, I gotta pull this up real quick.
Oh, X-Man. He's Tim. He wrote me several questions for you.
Oh boy.
Oh, perfect, man. Nice.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of questions that I can ask you from one big fan. I know that. So
that's awesome, man. I met Tim at a Living Color show like years ago, man.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
Do you like Living Color?
I do, man. My band got to open for him several years ago now, but
really,
Vernon Reed's got the biggest pedal board I've ever seen in my life.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, yeah, and of course they didn't. We were opening, and of course he didn't move it for the show, so I was like cramped in, couldn't even move the whole show. But it was worth it, man. It was cool.
That's hysterical. Corey Glover, the singer, is doing that. It has an album with George Lynch coming out.
I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Ultraphonics.
Ultraphonics. It's great.
Really, really good. Yeah, it's great.
They have 2 videos out so far for it.
I've got to check that out, man.
And it's actually really cool. Like great, good tunes. Not kind of sounds modern. It doesn't sound like rehashing the past. But it sounds like good rock tunes.
Yeah, and it's got
Catchy.
great production. Yeah, the drum production on it is great. The guy who's playing bass is just like ripping it on that one song, which is called Walk, Run, Crawl or something like that. Yeah, it's really good. So, and Corey Glover's voice doesn't even seem to have changed.
He's incredible, man.
Great.
Yeah, he sounds amazing. I like George's project with Doug Pinnick is really cool too.
Oh,
And,
KXM, yeah.
Yeah, he's playing. I mean, he's always played great, but I feel like he's playing better than ever now.
Well, you'll like Ultraphonics then.
Okay, yeah, I got to check that out, man.
Yeah,
Different than KXM, but more in that vein, kind of, sort of. Maybe better songs even.
That's what I think.
Wow, cool.
I prefer it. It's a bit. You know what it is? It's a bit more commercial, I would say, in a way, but it's just still rocking. It's still really good. So, so how did you guys meet, Dave and Sammy?
We're drinking buddies. No, we met through Marty. He owns a great music store in Detroit called Motor City Guitar, and you guys are like childhood friends, right?
Yeah. He was like he's the brother I never had. Yeah, so yeah, I remember Marty told me about you originally. He goes, man, you got to check this kid out, man. He's like the real deal. It's like the real thing, man. He's the real. Trust me. He's like the real deal. I'm like, okay, he bought one of your amps. Oh, okay, he did. And then I got in touch with you, I think, after that.
Yeah, I
bought a cabinet from me off at Artist Cost or whatever after that.
Yeah, I think I emailed you trying to get a cabinet, and then you said, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Detroit. You want to meet up?" And then we've been friends ever since. But Marty's a great guy, man. He's helped me out like even since I used to go up there like since I was like started playing, like 11, 12 years old, and he's been helping me out get good gear since I was a little kid, man. So
that was what, like 4 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, it's been fun, guys. I'll catch you.
That was good. Sammy. So when did you start playing, actually, Sammy?
I started playing guitar when I was 11. My parents are both musicians, so kind of I grew up playing. I started taking piano lessons when I was like 5, and I took lessons up until like high school. And my dad's a trumpet player, so I played trumpet in band. Like I think I started in 5th grade, but as soon as I started playing guitar, that was kind of it. I just never put it down, you know. But my dad showed me a couple Van Halen videos, and that was it. You know, it was over.
Oh, what did he show you?
I think Eruption was the first thing I ever heard. I can't totally remember, but yeah, I was just obsessed, like immediately, of course. Right. I think a lot of us guitar players have in common for sure.
Totally. At least I try to. It's very hard. You do a much better job of emulating that playing than I do.
Oh, thanks, man.
No, you're great. You're great. So was he like a huge influence on you?
Eddie? Yeah, definitely, man. He was he's been my hero. I mean, just since the beginning. Probably him, and I'm a huge Randy Rhoads fan too. Seeing him play when I was young, that was another one where you hear it for the first time. It kind of your path changes course, kind of thing, you know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Eddie and Randy are probably my 2 favorite guitar players, even now.
Yeah, I love them both.
Yeah,
Dave, were you a big Randy fan, Dave? I don't think we've ever talked about this.
Yes and no. I was a big Ozzy fan, like when he first came out with those records. Because I was there when he first came out with those records. I really dug Randy, but I did dig Eddie more. So I'm not a massive Randy fan, but I totally well respected for me. But I was more the Eddie guy.
Yeah, me too. It's funny because
Warren DeMartini.
Mm-hmm.
He's great too, man.
Loved his playing, and a bunch of those people from that time were so crazy good. Like a ton of them. The Warrens and the Jakey Lees and the actually, this is going to sound a little bit bad, but my favorite Ozzy guitarist is Jakey Lee.
Really?
I think Jake's my favorite, to be honest. I know that's maybe sacrilege to some people that love Randy, but I think Jake's my favorite.
Well, what is it about him that you like? The rhythm, the soloing, the tone? I'm curious.
A little, all of it.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I like his playing style. I like his aggressiveness. I like the songs he wrote, since he didn't get credit, but he wrote them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They were, really popular songs, really great songs. I don't know. Maybe it came from more of the Eddie ilk than the Randy classical influence sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, my beef with Randy,
but they're all good.
They're all great. Yeah, I just didn't like Randy's tone. That was my biggest issue. It was just like the tone on the albums, even live. I was just like, if you hear some of the live stuff, it's just like, I don't know. I never really was a big fan of his tone, but his playing was just monstrous.
I love the tribute album is one that I really just went nuts on. The live stuff, I just could not believe. And even now, man, I still listen to that. I'm just like,
wow. That album's amazing. Great playing.
Just amazing. Just the energy alone,
Mm-hmm. And I still have to give a lot of credit to Ozzy, because he just doesn't seem like he has it in him to come up with these melodies.
No.
But he does. He comes up with these great melody lines, and to play on those songs. At least those first 2 albums were, even still, after when he played with Jakey Lee and everything. I mean, just really great songwriting. Although some people started taking over his songwriting after the years, right? But back then he wrote all that stuff.
As he spiraled further into addiction and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he didn't write the lyrics, though, I heard.
I don't really know the whole story, to be honest. So I can't even comment. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure on the early records either. It might have been the keyboard player, Bob Daisley. I'm sure I think somebody in the chat probably knows. I bet.
The bass player.
Yes.
Bob Daisley.
Bob Daisley.
Bob bass player. Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, Bob Daisley. Yeah, Bob Daisley got a really royal ass fucking.
Totally.
When they took him off the records and replaced the parts.
Oh, with Trujillo and
yeah. Wait, who was it originally? It was Tommy Aldridge? Was that no?
No, the original was the original on the original albums was Bob Daisley and the drummer, who I don't know I forget the drummer's name.
Someone will bring it up in a minute.
Right, but then years later, like just within the past decade, Sharon replaced those parts.
Yeah, so she didn't have to pay royalties.
Right, so she had the albums re-recorded with Randy's parts with Rob Trujillo and who was the drummer? Tommy Aldridge.
Tommy Aldridge was the original, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy was the original. I think Tommy got taken off and Bob Daisley, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
And so that's really kind of screwed. I mean, come on, really?
She's ruthless, man, from what I understand. She came from that old school musicians get screwed over mentality.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, if you ever listen to the comparison of the original track to the re-record, it's the same parts, but the feel for the bass and drums is like totally different. And there's stuff on YouTube where you can compare the two back to back.
Oh, really?
And when you do that, you're like, oh, you immediately hear it, like especially with the bass parts.
Wow.
Like the feel is different. It's the same parts, yes, but it's not the same kind of. Bob Daisley had this certain kind of groove to him that was just really great.
Yeah, that original band was unreal, man.
They were. Yeah, it was a tragic loss for that guy. Totally. All right, I'm gonna go jump into chat real quick.
Imagine how pissed he was.
Oh, Ozzy?
Oh my God! No! Can you imagine how pissed Bob Daisley was?
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I think every few years they try to take him to court or something. I mean, he's.
I don't know, man. Oh, Lee Kerslake was the original drummer. There we go.
That's what I could not remember his name.
There we go. Thank you, Jensen Bell.
There you go. Yeah.
I knew. Yeah. Thank you for correcting our bad information.
Well, Tommy Aldridge ended up. He was the tour musician, but I don't think he recorded with him.
Well, then it said Bob. Then someone else said Enrique Rivera said Bob Daisley and Aldridge tracks were replaced with Robert Trujillo and Mike Borden. Mike Borden's a great drummer, though.
He is a great. That's the guy from.
He's the one that did this Last Sabbath.
Right.
I think. No. Mike Borden was the guy that was originally in.
I know the band. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Hello, people. Come on, answer.
You want it? You get it.
Yeah.
Faith no more.
Faith no more.
Thank you.
There you go. That was
there. It is.
Our failing memories are fixed.
I just needed to get that little chorus out, and you know what it is.
Faith No More was cool.
They were very unique.
Amazing band, yeah.
Really cool. Mike Borden or Mike.
What happened?
Mike Patton. They're still around. They came back.
Oh yeah,
recently. Yeah,
that's cool.
He had a solo career for a while. He also had a band called Mr. Bungle.
That's right. I remember Mr. Bungle. Right. They were in the '90s. It was a '90s thing. Yeah. Super cool. I'm just going to jump into the chat, say hi to some folks.
Okay.
I got the first person in, Ben Coombs, first thumbs up. Thanks, man. Ben had me on his show. If anybody wants to check out his channel.
Saw that.
Yeah, it was nice to. Oh, you watched it?
I turned it on for a little bit.
Oh, cool.
I didn't watch the whole thing. No offense to anyone. I'm like, what's this? Oh, click, Mark. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for having me on, Ben. Quentin James, David Keir. He's also from Detroit, I think he said. Ben Coombs, Tom Brino. How's it going? We got Bruce and I'm just trying to see if we have some questions before I jump into some other things. Fisherman 6798, anxiously waiting in Pittsburgh, PA. Cool. X-Man wants to know, how long is each episode usually? Well, tonight's going to be about, I think we're going 5 hours tonight.
Let's go.
Sammy will have to run to the liquor store to get more of his Jack Daniels.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, I don't have enough.
We were close to 5 hours one time. David Keir says, "Yeah, that was with yes,
Sir,
with Sir and Pete Thorne." Yeah.
Wow, that's long.
You guys did a 5-hour show, Jesus.
Almost 4 something.
That's awesome.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, and I'm on the East Coast, and I'm like passing out. I think it was like 1:30.
I always have it easy. It's 6 o'clock here, you know. Like,
right, exactly. It was fun though. That was awesome. I loved. John was just like, "No, let's keep going." He's like, "As long as there's people asking questions, let's stay." I was like, "That's awesome."
That's really cool.
Yeah. Rick Hollis, how you doing? He's in Australia. He's up on a Tuesday morning.
It's really easy for him.
True. His videos were really good.
Yeah.
He did some good stuff. It was nice meeting Rick at in NAMM. Did you get a chance to meet him?
I think I did. You know, here's the thing. Here's how the NAMM show goes. I meet a whole lot of people, and I'm generally drinking while I'm meeting a whole lot of people. So, and there's 4 days long of meeting people constantly all day long. So when it's all done, yeah, I saw you at NAMM. You did? Oh, okay. I think I maybe vaguely remember talking to you for a while. You get so scattered. At least I do. I have a hard time focusing sometimes on people, like when there's too much going on at one time.
And you have so much going on.
If you see me in NAMM and I'm like not focused on you, I apologize. It's no offense. Please don't take it poorly, because it's just that's the way it is.
That's cool.
And if you walk into the room and I give you the finger, that means that's a show of love.
A loving gesture.
A loving gesture. It's not meant to be angry. It's meant to be funny.
Gotcha.
I'm just explaining some misunderstandings over the years.
Yeah, actually, I had a buddy who met you and was like, "What the hell, man?" He was like, he didn't even look at me. I was like,
I didn't. Okay, I apologize. Like I said.
Yeah, but you know, I said, dude, I know how because I was hanging out with you.
Yeah.
If I had that many people coming at me all day,
after a while, yeah, and after a while, you're just numb.
Like you almost want to shut down.
It's just like you can't like. After a while, it's like if you have to talk to one more person and put a big smile on your face, you're just gonna die. You know, like it's hard. It's hard. It's a hard task to do it. It really is.
It is.
Yeah, Dave. I don't know how you do it, man. That's
why we have Dave Black there. He's always nice to everyone. We'll talk to him for a minute.
He is. I
need a break. I need a break.
It's rough. It's rough because everybody wants to talk to Dave.
And I try really hard not to like be a jerk or anything to anyone. You know, I try really hard. Sometimes it falls short. You know, it just does.
Yeah, it happens.
So,
it's all right.
It's just like you got. Oh, they want to do a video with you now. Okay, wait. Okay, but I was talking to him. But wait. Oh, sorry. You're talking to me too. Hold on a minute.
Yeah. You guys do have an amazing setup, though. I gotta say that wall of amps you built. I think the past couple of years is just insane.
Yeah, well, we might make you come and work it with us this year.
I'd love to, man.
because I want to get you out and doing shows at the booth.
Yeah, performance.
Yeah, that'd be a blast. So. You got the setup to do it for sure.
Yeah, no, and I think we might even have a little bit tweaked version of it next year too, where we can probably incorporate the small stage a little bit better than we have in the past.
That sounds great, man.
But I want to get you out doing performances at the booth.
Yeah, that'd be great. Just put on some tracks or something.
It's just like at least a couple a day or something, or one a day at least, not two. Yeah, just tracks, PA tracks, boom, done.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Simple.
You've been to Winter NAMM, Sammy?
I have, yeah, a few times. I think the last time was I didn't go this year, but the previous.
Yeah, yeah. But then we'll put you to work then, though.
Yeah, that's all right with me, man. That's cool. It gives me an excuse to get out there, so.
Yeah, that's fine. We can use more booth hands anyway, so that's good.
There's a lot of people.
But what you didn't see, Sammy, is there's a bar in the actual sound room now.
In the Freedman booth? That's
in
awesome.
The Freedman sound room. We took a mobile bar.
No shit.
This last year, yes. We had a refrigerator and a coffee maker for the mornings.
You guys have like a bartender, or is it more just self-serve?
No, it was like, well, it was sort of self-serve, or like someone that was working would make someone something. It wasn't really. It was like if it was offered to people, they got it. It's not like wide open.
Right.
That's awesome, man.
That would get costly.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. People taking advantage of the Freedman bar.
Yeah, but now I know. Of course, now I've broadcast it to everyone, so rethink this.
Hey, we're getting a little bit of a delay.
We are?
Have you heard it?
Nope.
I noticed it in mine. Yeah.
Do you have any?
Clear
volume up at all?
I don't. I'm in phones.
Nope. Nothing. And I don't hear anything with you guys at all. I'm perfect here.
You don't hear it?
Nope.
Strange. Okay. Well, we'll keep moving. So tell us about the amps that you have behind us, Sammy.
These are my buddy Mark Stewart's, who Dave knows as well. But the top one right here is it's a 68 JTM 45, which is just insane. And he's just a vintage Marshall collector. He's let me borrow a couple of them, so. And then right below it's a 68 Super Lead.
Amazing.
You know what I'm always amazed at is the way your room looks in videos. It looks killer, but it was so small when I saw it.
Yeah, I'm in a tiny apartment outside of Detroit, man.
Yeah, but the way you have it staged in the back with the guitars and the amps and stuff, it looks killer. And
thanks, man.
You would never know it's not a larger room, but it's like it's small.
Would you guys like a tour of my apartment? One second. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, please. That's funny. So you typically can't crank it up, I would imagine.
I'm using just here for cutting demos and stuff, man. I'm using just a load box and right into an interface. So it's amazing because with these old Marshalls, man, to get the distortion, you got to crank them up to like 10,
Mm-hmm.
But with using a device like this, man, you can low volume. It's just amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah, what are you using the 2 notes thing, right?
Yeah, it's a 2 notes
live
torpedo live. Yeah, and it's amazing, man. I can't believe it. The technology just in the past few years for that kind of thing is just completely changed everything, in my opinion. At least.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got the power station from Fryat, which is amazing. But the 2 notes, and then of course they've got the what is the UA aux?
Aux, yeah. That one's cool.
Have you checked that one out, Sammy?
I have not, no, but I have heard of the Fryat. I've heard that's great.
Yeah, the Fryat load, power load.
Yeah, it's a great box.
Well, then you got to put your IR in the computer and on the on a thing in the computer.
Okay. Yeah, this low box has a bunch of IRs built into it, but you can also use in the interface as well, which is pretty cool. If you want to bypass the IRs on the rack.
Exactly.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. I've also got I don't think you guys can see in the video. Let me check, but maybe if I move or below, there's an old super bass too. It's a 69 super bass that I'm borrowing.
I see something that looks like a Marshall amp. And then a Fender something over there too.
That's an old Vibro Verb too. Yeah, none of these are mine. I wish they were. Maybe one day. But and then I've also got my main amp live is a Freedman B100, which is lower here if you guys can see.
And it's on.
And it's on. Yeah, I was using it right before we got on here.
I realized the other day I left my amp on for like 6 hours.
Won't hurt it.
Well, that's good to hear.
I mean, we burn them in on a rack at like close to full volume for like 24 hours before
really?
they ever see you. Yeah. Won't hurt them. They don't melt.
That's cool. Now,
Maybe
if you
volume.
At half volume.
Yeah. About.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm not even close to that.
Yeah, don't worry. It's fine.
So
tubes still work. It's fine.
Yeah. That's cool. Doesn't take that much electricity.
Not that much actually.
That's cool. People are hearing we're hearing a delay. So I'm wondering if we can have a solution to this. Sammy or Dave, one of you guys, could you drop off and then just come back in?
I'll do it.
Okay. See if that helps.
Cool. Yeah, I can try doing it too, Mark, if you want.
Then I'll be here alone? No, I don't want to do that.
How do I drop? Okay, I just drop off like normal. Okay, great.
Yep.
Close out.
All right. Do I still have an echo? It went away, right? Can you hear it, Sammy?
No, I can't hear it. No, now it's perfect.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe that'll fix it because something was happening.
Echo gone. Okay, it was Dave.
We think it was you, Dave.
Okay.
Not sure why, because when you went away, it disappeared.
Does it work better now?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's better here.
Damn it.
All right. It was me. I don't know I didn't do anything, but
I don't know. Rock and roll. All right, we're back. So blame Dave, Dan Pfeiffer wrote.
Fine, I'll take it.
Hey, you got it. We just have to fix it every once in a while. This freaking technology. So, Sammy, I wanted to hear more about, your career, the music that you're into, and your stuff that you've done. And so take us back. So you said you play guitar and you had your influences. And when did you kind of make the transition to decide that this is what you wanted to do?
I mean, I kind of knew right away. It's one of those things where I don't know. I got so into it, so hardcore, right away, that it was kind of like it wasn't really a choice. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I mean, as far as like knowing I wanted to be a musician and guitar player, probably like early teens. But after high school, I went to music school for a year and a half. I went to U of M. And while I was there, I met this great band in Detroit called Citizen Zero. And when I met them, they were working with this great producer in Detroit named Al Sutton, who's done, at the time, he was most famous for discovering Kid Rock and producing his records. And his latest band that he's worked with is Greta Van Fleet, if you know those guys.
Oh yeah.
But I met them and they were looking for a guitar player, and I played with them up until just a couple weeks ago. But we put a record out in 2016. We got a record deal, and we toured for about almost 2 years on that record, man. So I got to do that whole thing, man, crisscrossing the country and a bunch of times, you know, playing in a band. So
fun? Was it everything you wanted it to be, or?
It really is, man. Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely, when you're a kid dreaming about being in a rock band, it's I mean, you only dream about the good parts, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I loved every second of being in that band, you know. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, going to a town and having people know your songs and coming to the show, and it's a trip, man. But now I'm working on an instrumental guitar album that I've been focusing on, and I'm getting close to having it finished. I'm going, actually the next session I'm doing we're going in Wednesday through Friday, and I'm trying to finish up. But after this week, I'll have 9 songs finished. So that's kind of what I've been focusing on now.
Killer. What's the expected release date? What are you shooting for?
Not totally sure yet, man. Probably, I'm hoping like early next year.
Cool. Just in time for NAMM, maybe.
Yeah, you never know, man. That'd be awesome. Maybe do a show out there, coinciding with NAMM. You never know.
Yeah, man. It's his solo stuff is really good. When you hear, when you guys hear this, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the snippets and things of stuff that Sammy does that he's put up. And there's been a few clips of also they did a show that we did in Detroit where they played for the first time they've ever played together, at least live, and the snips were great, killer. So we hope to see more of those videos when you finish them up, editing them.
Yeah, we played some of the instrumental stuff live for the first time at Dave show at Harpo's with Seduce. Mm-hmm. And I'd never done a show like that, man. It's different than just playing lead in a band, you know what I mean, when you're doing a completely guitar oriented gig like that. So I wasn't sure how it was gonna be live, but I loved it, man. Great. It was a blast, man. Yeah,
it came off really great, and I think some of the videos, the little snippet videos that you put out, will show that already. And if you haven't seen some of that, I mean, I think I've shared some of it on our Facebook, and he shares it on his personal page, and it was great. What I love about this, I'm not really that much of an instrumental guy. For instrumental bands, so to speak, or instrumental artists. I respect it, but some of it's boring to me. Mm-hmm. But what I like about your stuff is it's not boring to me. It's there's like I said it before, I think the word that comes to mind is it has this tension to it, this kind of exciting tension in the music, and it's a little more modern. It's not as, it's not your, not to take away from it, but it's not your Joe Satriani instrumental record kind of thing. It's not like that. It's got more teeth to it.
No, thank you so much, man.
It's got more teeth to it. So it's really interesting to listen to, and watching it live too. I was like, how's this going to come off live? Let's see, and live, it was like totally exciting. You watch the whole set and you're just like, man, that was great.
Thank you so much. It
sounded great. And, and it was, it came off really good. So the best thing that I could kind of get out of it is I saw this one band not that long ago with Mastodon, Russian Circles. And Russian Circles is also a kind of a heavy instrumental band, slightly different style, but also equally really interesting to watch live. So that's why I think about what you got going. So it would fit right in a variety of touring situations.
Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, I can't wait to see more of the clips, because that one clip that was posted, that Dave posted from the show at Harpo's, I was like, okay, I want to see more of that.
Yeah. It's killer. And if you don't know what he's doing, you need to look him up.
Yeah.
Because he does this unique style. Well, maybe some of it's been done before, like with, you know, early on with like, you know, like a kind of a similar two-handed sort of technique that's more piano-like. So it's funny when you said you played piano for years. That kind of makes sense now. You know?
Oh, thanks, man.
You know, 'cause some of that piano is coming through on the guitar, kind of, with that technique you're using. You know, it's similar to what had been done, you know, maybe like Stanley Jordan and stuff a million years ago, you know. But you've kind of taken it a little further than that. So,
thank you. I mean, a lot of the tunes are some of those tapping riffs. Like a lot of the songs are kind of based on a lot of those tapping riffs that have just been working on. But there's definitely like a lot of shred elements and stuff like that. There's moments of that for sure too.
Yeah,
but with kind of a heavy background too, you know what I mean? So it's like some of the clean tapping and delay over the heavy band behind it.
Yeah,
I guess that's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, distorted bass and kind of heavy band and like, you know, not aggressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, super aggressive still. And so I think that's what creates the excitement in the instrumental part of this music. And great melody lines over top. So that's what it stands out. I mean, that last one you just posted, the last clean one you had done, I think the very last one you posted, that it was such an interesting one. That was like it was just so catchy.
Oh,
just like it almost sounded like there wanted to be a vocal line on it. But you were doing it on the guitar. You know, you were doing sort of the melody part on the guitar. You know?
Check it out.
Man.
That would be even great for like movie kind of things and stuff like that. You know, the background music and film and shows and things. It would be great for that kind of stuff too.
Thanks, man. It's an interesting thing. Like, I've always been a songwriter. Like I've always played in bands, you know, so it's like when you're writing tunes with, you know, and writing riffs and stuff, you imagine vocals over them usually, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's been really kind of a learning thing too, doing a record where it's, you know, making it interesting and also, you know, you're doing everything on the guitar, you know, so it's a totally different bag. But
yeah, absolutely.
I've been loving it, man. It's been a lot of fun laying it down. And I'm lucky. I've got a really good band backing me up, man. Some of my best friends are playing with me. So
yeah, I was going to say that's a different band than
Citizen Zero. Yeah.
So someone had asked, it was Fisherman 6798. So he said you played with them up to 2 weeks ago. Does that mean you're leaving Citizen Zero?
Yeah, I left the band, man. Our drummer John left and moved to Nashville. He's an incredible musician, and he's an original member of the band as well. So when he left, it was kind of like I just didn't think it was going to be the same, you know. So
yeah,
it's just one of those things.
It happens.
Yeah, but I'm really proud of everything we accomplished, you know, and yeah, it's just a new chapter, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. So, you know what? I'm going to get to one of the questions from Tim, who had sent me some questions. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So he said, after the big success of the album State of Mind and the single Go, do you feel any pressure on your next release?
I did up until a couple of weeks ago. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know if the band's continuing or not, but the music that's written is really cool. So if it does continue, hopefully it'll follow it up well.
Awesome. He had another question, which is kind of what we were talking, which was where did you get the idea to do your two-handed tapping style with the bass line and the melody?
That's just something I've been working on for fun for a long time, you know.
Yeah, just working on for fun. If you guys have not seen this, you'll understand why I just said that.
Oh, thank you. I mean,
it's more like, where's the hammer? Let me break my fingers.
Oh man, that's how I feel too. So that
oh yeah, huh?
But I'm still on like your first exercise on your sweep picking extra the Guitar World sweep thing that you did.
Oh, have you watched some of those? That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm working on it right now. I'm actually working on those sweep patterns.
Oh, no way, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's a pain in my ass. So, but thanks.
That's awesome.
No, in case you guys don't know, Sammy did some videos for Guitar World, also some lesson videos. And you guys should check those out too. There's some cool stuff to be learned if you can play it.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I do a lot of teaching. Since we've been off the road, I've been teaching even more. But yeah, I'm really lucky. I'm still doing it's an online column in Guitar World. It's called Secrets of Shred. If anybody hasn't seen it, that's in the chat or whatever. But that's really cool. That's really cool that you actually check those out, man. Or working on some of them, man.
Yeah. Because I've been wanting to do more of the sweep stuff, and it's just very hard. It's not easy. It's not an easy technique to do. But I got like a very basic pattern to do on 2 strings, and then what you're doing across 3 strings. So I was like, oh, okay, I think I can get this. So I've got like the first 2 patterns down. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, no, it's great. So you do lessons. You said, are you doing lessons online, Skype? How do you do lessons?
Both. I do some in person, and then yeah, I have been doing even more Skype lessons lately, which is pretty cool. It's kind of a bummer because you can't play together. You know, like I love when I have people come over to my apartment and stuff and give lessons. Like it's really fun to jam and work stuff out. But it's still a blast. I mean, we work on all kinds of stuff. Work on sweep picking, tapping. Lately, I've been getting more people trying to learn some of the tapping stuff, which has been really cool. But yeah, we work on everything, man.
That's good. Yeah, Skype it's amazing how that's opened up a whole business model for guitar teachers, and people who want to take lessons.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because you're not limited now to taking lessons from the guy at Guitar Center. You take lessons online from some amazing people, like yourself. I mean, even like Brent Mason.
Does he give lessons online, really?
Yeah, but they're expensive.
Oh, really? Man, yeah. I'd love to take it. He's amazing.
That guy's incredible.
Yeah, he's an incredible.
We're like, I'm going to take one.
Yeah. He has
yeah, seriously.
He has one lesson where you can go to his house. The option if
God,
you're
how
in
much
Nashville.
is that?
Yeah, it was $500 for a 2-hour session.
I was about to guess. Yeah, let me get a quick 500. Together to go over.
Well, 2 hours in person at his house. Well, yeah, it's expensive, but it's not out of the question for some people that really would like to,
That guy's he's probably one of the best at his craft.
Yeah,
in that type of music. So yeah,
I mean, it's not something stupid like he's charging, $1,500 or something like that. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, yeah, okay, never mind.
Right. No, it's somewhat reasonable. I mean, it's a lot, but still. And I think I can't remember what his online lessons were, but I mean, yeah, it's very super cool that you can get lessons from really great players. I mean, we were talking about Sean Tubbs before. I don't know if he teaches, but that guy's an amazing player too.
I love his playing. He was just on your show, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's wonderful guitar player, man.
His last video that he just did, which I think he posted last night or the other day, where he was doing like these lap steel types of things. Did you see that, Dave?
No, I didn't. But
oh my god,
I've seen him do kind of that stuff before.
The tone that he was getting, it was amazing. I was like, holy shit, this guy's got some. And he was doing like behind the nut bends and like all these weird things.
Oh
like,
yeah,
he's the real deal.
I got to check that out, man.
Yeah, he's definitely really good player. So tell us about some of your gear, right? So you're obviously a Freedman artist, so you use the BE. Have you checked out the BE50?
I haven't gotten to try one in person yet. I'd love to, but yeah, I'm kind of a diehard BE 100 guy. I have used a buddy of mine has a Steve Stevens head that I've used in the studio a couple times. I love that head too.
Yeah,
but
Mark.
Yeah, he's got Mark's got an amazing collection of amps, man, and cabinets too. You should see some of the cabinets he's got now. But
wow,
yeah, I'm a B100 guy, kind of through and through. But I've always been kind of like an amp distortion player. Just kind of diehard, like Van Halen school, kind of like what we talked about. But Yeah, when I heard that for the first time, I was just like, that's what I gotta use, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about this before, Dave, but the video that sold me, and a lot of people that sold me on your amp
Phil
was
X?
Phil X. Yeah. When I heard that,
that was one we just batted right out of the park there on that video.
Yeah, he's so funny in that video. Have you seen that, Sammy?
I have. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing is, you know, Phil is either a person that everyone loves, or they want to just kill him. because they find him annoying and stuff. Personally, you know, Phil, I like Phil. It's all like he's actually kind of really calm in person.
Yeah. Oh, he calms down in person.
Yeah, he calms down. But it's funny. It's funny. It's humorous. Let's just come on in this day and age.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go with the humor. It's fine.
No, he's funny as crap, man. He really is. I love his attitude and everything, and his playing is
rock guy. Yeah, he's great.
He's a great player too.
When I first met Phil, and we brought this up on the show before, that he was at an LA amp show, and I knew who he was, but he came in the room and was trying some of the amps for the first time. And the very first thing he did, he was on the BE channel. The very first thing he did, he turned the gain down to 6.
Which is probably the opposite of what everybody does.
And turned the gain down to 6, and it was loud, you know? So it's not an issue because it's really loud. And I just went up to him and go, "Thank you. Thanks for turning the gain down. You're the only one that's ever done that." And it sounded great because he's used to playing like that. So he can make it sound like there's tons of, you know, lots of gain to it, but it's not. It's like really clean. So he manhandles it in his hands, you know.
Yeah, he's a great player, man.
He really is. Got great style.
Have you guys had him on the show or no?
Yeah.
Has he been on? Yeah, I was about to say he'd be a great guest for you guys.
Oh, he was great. He was great. He couldn't sit still for 2 seconds, but he was great. I think he was doing this, like where we're talking to him, and he was like jangling his things. And remember Dave?
Yeah.
I think I texted
him and David Black also was sitting there rocking. The two guys that couldn't sit still.
That's right, Dave Black too. That was funny. Yeah, someone commented like, "Can you tell him to stop rocking back and forth?"
No, that was worse than that. It was like, "What's he on?" or something. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, it was like nothing.
Right. You said what I wasn't going to say, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone wrote, "Phil is the happiest guy on the planet." He really, he definitely is happy.
Absolutely.
And he's got a lot to be happy about. So
he's playing with Bon Jovi now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's killer, man. Yeah, we're talking about an amazing gig.
You don't get better than that.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, I'm sure it opened up a bunch of doors for him. He still gets to do whatever he wants to do from his own side of music. And he gets one of the biggest gigs in the world. I still would love to know, like, the real inside scoop on that whole Bon Jovi Hall of Fame thing. And
I watched some of that because he played and Richie played too, which is I thought that was cool, man. I'm glad they had. I know Richie's not in the band, but anymore at least. But
as a fan, you know, I'm not a big Bon Jovi fan, but as somebody who, you know, enjoys some of their music and just to see it as a rock and roll fan, I was like, yes, I'm glad all these guys can get up on stage. The past bass player, everybody can get up on stage and just be an adult and say, yeah, we're here for our fans.
Yeah.
You know, that was nice, you know, just to see that.
Which is the opposite of a Van Halen induction, if you guys remember that.
Oh, it was such an embarrassment.
What a heartbreak. Yeah, talk about heartbreaking, man.
Heartbreaking. Really? Yeah. You know, I mean, well, Ed was supposedly getting treatment at that time. Supposedly, I think. I don't know. That's what
who knows?
Yeah. Well, anyway, but yeah, Alex didn't go, Ed didn't go, Dave didn't go.
Yeah.
The two guys who go with Mike and Sammy.
Of course.
Yeah. It was just sad. But also as a Van Halen fan, my biggest disappointing disappointing moment as a Van Halen fan was I was all psyched about when they were going on Jimmy Kimmel.
Right.
And I'm watching, and a buddy of mine texts me, and he's like, dude, I have a friend who's in the audience right now. He's like, there's a huge issue with Van Halen right now. And he's like, I heard Dave busted his nose. I'm like, get the hell out. This is like in between the commercial break. Like the commercial break is going, and I'm like, get out of here. And he's like, I swear there's like something going on with Van Halen right now. And then they came back, and Dave's nose was all taped up. And did you remember seeing that, Dave?
Yep.
Oh,
I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
I was just
you had a friend that was there? That's insane that he saw that.
Well, he wasn't there. His friend was there.
Oh, okay.
And he texted me. He's like, dude, a buddy of mine's there. And he just said,
he knows. I had a couple of friends that were there too. It was on the street in Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it in Hollywood Boulevard, or I thought it was at like one of the parks?
No, it was literally on Hollywood Boulevard in front of the Jimmy Kimmel show. It's completely closed down, and they had a stage out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like mortified. I was just like, holy shit. Of all the things for Dave to do, he busts his nose.
They were saying, I mean, he's done that act with the martial arts stuff for years, and it's the first time it's ever gone wrong. Of course, right? When they're live on TV.
Right.
Yeah, that's just how that shit works.
Yeah, and of course, what he was wearing, he looked like an idiot. I'm sorry, it just looked so bad. And with the nose thing, I was just like, oh my God, Dave he's just ruining it right now.
You know what I saw that is around that same time? I just watched, somebody sent it to me the other night, and I watched it again. Have you guys seen the footage of him? It's actually, I thought it was, I mean, it's better than that performance, but when Dave walked out and played with the Foo Fighters, have you guys seen that?
Yes.
I thought that was awesome. As for modern day David Lee Roth, you know, have you seen that or no?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Did they do Panama?
They did Panama, and I think they did Ain't Talk About Love too.
I think yes. I think I do remember seeing it. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Dave fan. I love it, but I was just so like, oh God, that Jimmy Kimmel thing. It was like broadcast TV, you know, Van Halen, you know.
I will say that Edward played great, man. Eddie's back to that fucking normal, man. You know,
Eddie's great. Yeah. He is.
Oh, hey, Sean Tubbs says thanks, Sammy.
I just saw he's in the chat. That's so cool.
Yeah. I had to close out my chat and start it again because mine was all messed up. It wouldn't go anywhere. It was a spinning ball of death.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's fine now. I'm good now. But Sean, how are you, by the way?
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on last time, Sean.
I texted Wade earlier, Dave. I think he's watching too.
Where is he? Come on, Wade, if you're watching, chime in.
I wonder, I'm gonna text him. I wonder if he has a webcam. Just get him on here.
No, let's not get it. No. We're not doing that today. But we need to do that though. Actually, that's another guest for us. Done. We're gonna do that. That should be fun.
Who's this?
Yeah. This is Wade from Motor
City Pickups.
Oh, that'd be great.
Who's a wonderful human being all around.
Wonderful human being.
But I met him the same night I met you, Dave.
Yeah,
when we were at in Greektown.
Yep, drinking.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, Wade's great, man.
Wade, you can't drink on the show though. No drinking for you on the show.
He's a mean drunk.
No, he's not a mean drunk at all. No. It's just that we wanted him to be able to speak.
Oh, I'm just kidding. That's awesome. Yeah, I actually have heard a lot of great things about his pickups.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Yeah, that's what I use, man. I got those in my main guitar.
Which model? Is there a particular model that you use?
I use it's a custom pickup he makes called the Hothead. That's the bridge pickup I use. And I went over to, he lives in Garden City, which is about maybe 20 minutes from here, from where I live. But I went over there and just tried out a bunch of pickups. But that's the first one I tried, and I was just like, wow, you know. Yeah. It's like there's certain moments when you plug in a guitar, plug into a rig, and you're just like, I didn't even know that was possible, type thing, you know. Yeah, that pickup's amazing. So that's what I use in the bridge, and then I use he's got another pickup that he sells called the Afueyu. That's what I got on the neck. But what's really cool is I have I don't know if he usually does it with a 4 conductor wire, but I've got taps in my guitar too, so I can coil tap them, and those sound amazing coil tap too.
And that makes sense because it's a hotter pickup, so then the coil that's not tapped is still kind of beefy enough where it doesn't sound anemic.
You're correct, yeah, and especially for some of that tapping stuff, it sounds really good. Like if you're in the middle position, that's kind of how I get some of those like clean tapping tones is with like one humbucker full and then a tapped like bridge pickup or neck pickup.
Interesting. How hot is the bridge?
It's really hot, and that's usually I'm more of like a low output, medium output type of guy. Other than that particular pickup, because there's something about the articulation, man. It's just like I've never heard a pickup that picks up like that, like everything about the note, if that makes sense. Like it almost it's just wild. Like usually high output pickups aren't so responsive, you know. It's more just like flat, like compressed. But this is like the total opposite. Yeah, amazing. That's the pickup to check out in my book, the Motor City Hothead.
That's cool. So, tell us more about like your gear that you use.
I don't live, man. I don't have a big board by any means. At Dave's show, I used a compressor for the first time because I was doing some of that clean tapping stuff live for the first time. So I go into like a tuner, and then I went into that. It's an Empress compressor. Have you ever heard of that company? That's a really, really great compressor.
It's a great compressor.
And then I just use that and a couple delays. I'm using a flashback delay right now, like an X4, one of those TC Electronics, and then a carbon copy. And the delays are in the effect loop. So I split out. I go into a noise gate that goes into the front amp, and then the effect loop goes into that same noise gate into the flashback and a carbon copy, and then I have a reverb pedal that's on all the time too, like pretty low. It's just it's the standard. I forget what it's called right now. Just the Holy Grail. It's like a 1-knob reverb.
That's a good one.
Nothing too crazy. I think at Dave's gate I had a Phase 90 on my board too, just for fun.
If you're an Eddie fan, you have to have a Phase 90 on your board.
Yeah, I only use it on one tune, but I'm kind of using it in a wacky way. I have it turned up all the way. It sounds more like a fast chorus or something.
Yeah, Leslie kind of thing.
Yeah, but
that's cool.
Nothing too crazy. What's interesting is I'd never played with a compressor live, but I really liked it. I thought it was really cool, especially
the clean tapping kind of thing.
It just makes it feel like you have distortion, you know. And so you don't have to be digging in so hard when you're doing some of that tapping stuff. So
yeah, exactly. Because I can't imagine that tapping stuff is that simple to do. Not the way you're doing it. How hard you have to hit that note to make it stick.
The compressor helps a lot, man. I was pretty surprised.
Yeah, bad because just the finger strength of the right hand, just to be able to tap those notes and have them really stick. It looks effortless, but
thanks, man. And I think I'm using I have delays on almost all the time as well, which kind of helps with some of the sustain and making it sound smooth, you know.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, no, you had a shit ton of delay on.
Yeah, which is I'm working
sounded
out.
Great. No, it sounded great.
Thanks, man.
No, it sounded fine out front.
We got a question from Michael Smith. Hey, Michael. He wants to know, what was your first guitar and what's your most prized guitar now and why?
My first, I started just playing some of my dad had a bunch of acoustics around the house, so I started playing those. And the first guitar I ever bought, we had a garage sale, and I sold some old Pokemon cards and stuff like that. And I went to Guitar Center and bought a Squire Strat Pack, which a lot of our kids around my age, a lot of kids started with that. Like a Squire Affinity pack. But I played that. I played the hell out of that for a while, and then I got a Jackson. I played like a Jackson Dinky. That's the first guitar I had with like a real bar with a Floyd on it. So I learned a lot of stuff on that too. And the other question was most prized guitar.
Yeah.
Probably my main guitar is my Les Paul, which is behind me. That's the going to the grave guitar.
And that has a Floyd on it?
It does, yeah. It's factory. It's based on a Les Paul Access, if you guys know that model.
Yeah.
But I think I got it on eBay. I think somebody had it made in the custom shop. So it's based on that. It's got like all the same specs as a Les Paul Access with like the carved out heel and stuff like that. And it's a little bit thinner than a normal Les Paul Custom.
It's not as heavy.
But, yeah, it's not quite as heavy. I kind of wish it was, like a big chunk of wood, But yeah, that's definitely my most prized guitar.
Oh, it sounds great. That is a guitar. It's like we've talked about this before, Dave. I need another guitar, like I need a hole in the head. But
yeah, same.
But I've always wanted a Les Paul with a Floyd.
And check them out, man. Even if you can,
I'm a lefty, so I haven't seen a Les Paul with a
good
Floyd.
Luck with that one.
Yeah, lefty Les Paul with a Floyd. I'm
you're gonna be modifying a regular lefty Les Paul.
That's yeah, and I'm not touching my Les Paul that I have, so it's not happening.
And then the luthier you're gonna take it to is gonna look at you and just go, "Really?
Yes. Why?
Really, man?"
I know, but it's a great. I've always. Neil Sean uses it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does. I think he does play one as well. Yeah.
I think we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a set neck with a Floyd. I think sometime in the near future here.
Oh, that would be cool.
So,
Dave, I love your. I was looking at some of your.
You like the Callies. I like
the Callies, and I like the Tellys too. I saw a picture of a Telly with a Floyd that you have that looks amazing.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Which I don't know if you sell those or not. If it was just a one-off or whatever. But
was it the black one? Black.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was black with either
like a black pick guard or something with a chrome humbucker or something maybe.
Yeah, I've been modding a Telly. I got a Mexican Telly on Craigslist a couple months ago. I've been modding it out. So now I've always wanted a Telly because you end up using Tellys in the studio a lot, like just doing session work.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I finally bought just a cheap one. I've just been trying to mod it, make it sound good.
Yeah. Did Wade get you some pickups for that?
I've got to get one. I've got to get some from him, man.
You got to get some from him, man.
He's been making single coils now too, which
he's been making single coils a long time.
Has he? Okay.
I've had them for years.
My buddy Frank left a Strat with him before he moved to Nashville like 6 months ago, and I think Wade still has it, but I think he's putting some pickups in there, like just like a set of 3 Strat pickups.
Yeah, but I have one Telly that he made a bridge pickup for me. That's not overly hot or anything, just like a standard vintage style bridge Telly pickup, and it sounds amazing.
Everything Wade.
And he's watching. He texted me.
Did he? Okay, perfect. I gotta check my phone. Oh, he just texted me too. The Wade's the best, man. He's just yeah.
We'll get him on. We'll definitely get him on.
Oh yeah, we'll get him on for sure.
What's so cool is every time I go over there, he always teaches me stuff too, which is like he'll explain to me what he's doing, like working on pickups, working on different stuff. It's so cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he's great, man. But yeah, you can't. There's something about a Telly tone like doubled with a Les Paul, man. It's just like
absolutely. Whew. Telly on one side, Les Paul on the other side, pan left to right. Sounds massive.
Yeah.
Traditional
awesome.
Telly. Same amp.
Same amp, even. Yeah.
Yeah. Same amp, just change the guitars, but it's radically different because you get the full humbucker sound and then the bright Telly thing. But then boom, it explodes. It's huge.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Super cool. So, are you recording with those amps that you're using back there, Sammy? I
have them, man, and I live right by one of the best studios in Detroit. Is a studio called Rust Belt, and I've been doing like a lot of like producing and stuff since I've been off the road. And I keep bringing I bring the Freedman and like at least like 2 Marshalls to the sessions I've been doing, and everybody just freaks out because like Rust Belt's got some great vintage gear too, but there's something about having just like a Freedman on one side and then like an old Marshall on the other, doubling, especially like rhythm parts, where it just like it's just it sounds like every great guitar tone you grew up listening to, Yeah, I've been using them for all kinds of stuff.
Very cool. Dave, I didn't tell you this, but you know the guy who has the page Masters of Shred? You ever see this guy?
Yeah, it sounds familiar. I
Mr.
think.
Mr. Shred, his name is. His name is Derek. He lives by me. He literally lives like 10 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
Does he really?
Yeah. You know who I'm talking about, Sammy?
I do. Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So Derek is a nice guy. So I met him. It was funny because I was going to NAMM, last winter NAMM, and I'm wearing my Van Halen t-shirt. And I go through security, and the security guard says to me, the TSA guy goes, "Are you with them?" And he points to these guys, and I look over, and I don't even know who. I had never seen his channel or anything. It's Derek, Mr. Shred, and his friend who also has a Van Halen t-shirt on. So, and I'm carrying my guitar in my suitcase, and they're like, "You're going to NAMM, aren't you?" Because it was a direct flight to LA. And I'm like, yeah. And we just became friends and started talking on the flight and everything like that. And well, anyway, Dave, he came over and checked out the rig with the with your amp, and his mouth dropped. I had it on like 2 with the wet, dry, wet rig and everything, and he was like, "Holy shit, I've never heard anything this good. Oh my God." So we've been texting back and forth. He's like, "I got to come over and check out your rig again." So have you ever done a wet, dry, wet rig, Sammy?
I've tried one. The only time I've ever gotten to use one is at Dave's setup at NAMM.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But it's someday. That's my dream rig, man. I have like 2 cabinets on stage, 2 heads, like 1 wet, 1 dry. But right now I just use a half stack live usually, but yeah, one day, man, that'd be killer. Just to have the separation, you know.
It's like I have it in my bedroom here with like 3 cabinets.
Are you serious? That's perfect.
Well, one by 12 and another 2 by 12. Those are the wet cabinets, and then the 4 by 12 is dry.
That probably sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It fucking sounds great. It really does. And I have the delay. I have stereo delay. So one is set at 398. The other one's set at, like, I forget what it is, maybe 798 or whatever. And they're like ping ponging back and forth.
That's killer.
Yep.
Yeah. It's freaking amazing. Total Van Halen setup. So, because I'm a nutcase. But
Mark, what is that guitar behind you, man? Is that like an old Kramer or something, or is it
it's a 5150 recreation.
Cool.
Yeah, buddy of mine.
I've always wanted one of those, man.
Oh, if you want one, I know somebody who can get you one.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Fully relict. And,
really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I'll send you pictures of this. It's completely relicked out. It like looks like Ed's. It's sick.
All right.
That's awesome.
Hey, we've got a question, Dave, for you actually, or for anybody. He's James Kohler Music says, Dave, I'm in the market for an amp right now, looking for something with classic rock vibe that can do modern rock too. What would you recommend?
It can do both. Okay. Well, it depends on how much you want to spend, I guess. So probably BE50 Deluxe would probably be the best all-around, most versatile choice. If you just said classic rock, I'd say a Dirty Shirley amp. And if you wanted to take it more modern, I'd say buy one of our Buxom Boost pedals into the Dirty Shirley, and it'll give you the tighter, more modern kind of thing out of it. So depends. $3,500 or $2,800 in a pedal, so $3,000. So you're only saving $500. So it's not. It's already expensive.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's expensive, but it actually really does cost a lot to make.
And
then you got dealer margins and reps and things and overhead, and oh my God, you guys don't understand.
Yeah, I see people online. They're like, "Oh, it's ridiculously expensive." Blah 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 blah. You know.
Well, if you start doing the math, the actual real math, it's not out of the question at all. So,
What do you think?
And let me tell you this: these tariffs aren't going to be helping anything. So that's a real problem, because in one way or another, these tariffs are going to affect the whole music industry and gear manufacturing. Because even if it's an American-based company, often that the steel or aluminum is coming from overseas. There's some factories here, but that's not what has been used for the product. So there's tariffs on this stuff now, and then you know, every single electronic part that's in an amplifier comes from somewhere else. None of them are made here. The chassis that you have might be an American company, but the steel might not come from here. The transformers you make could be American company, but the steel doesn't come from here. Some of it does, some of it doesn't. Just depends.
Have you already seen price increases?
Yes.
Oh wow! Already, wow.
It's already started. So. So.
Great.
You know, it's like they said. You know, just like, you know, how Coke just said that they had to raise the price of their product because of the tariffs. We were looking that up the other day, and you know, like the president saying, well, it's like 3 cents a can. It's not very much money, you know. How many cans of Coca-Cola product per day are consumed in this world? We were looking up some numbers, and it's staggering. We're talking, you know, in a year, we're talking billions. In the billions in a year. So you take
that by 3 cents.
Yeah, that it's a sizable figure. So you know, what do you do? Are you going to eat $1 billion or something? You can't. You know, if it was on a smaller scale, maybe you can eat it. You know, and we're eating some of it. So we'll see how it goes.
It's a bummer, man.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a shame.
I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not the end of the world, but it's kind of an issue when, you know, you get an invoice for something, and for 300 units of something, and you know, the invoice is like, you know, $13,000 more. So,
oh my God! Wow.
Yeah, that's not insignificant. I mean, that's,
you know,
that's a significant increase.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, it adds up. So we'll see.
It's funny. I just got a text from somebody. I was in this debate with somebody about Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay.
Did you like Smashing Pumpkins? You like that band?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I do like them. Do you like them, Dave?
I've liked them here and there throughout the years. Yeah.
So I was a big fan early on of their stuff, and then they lost me. Like the Gish album, the first album, I was just like, okay, this is great. Jimmy Chamberlain on drums, everything, and they just became too commercial for me. So I kind of lost interest in them when they became a little bit more commercial. But people still love, like, you know, the Melancholy album and all that stuff. But it didn't really do it for me. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are.
I mean, I'm not like the biggest diehard Smashing Pumpkins fan by any means, but I'm a big Billy Corgan fan. I think he's a really smart guy, really great artist. Oh yeah. And great songwriter more than anything. Just some of those. I'm more into like the classic songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're if they'd come out with something new, I'd love to check it out though.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. He's annoyed me over the years. maybe I should keep my mouth shut.
No, I mean, you know, that's what it is.
No, it's fine. It's funny because I just saw it come up. But that's too bad about the tariffs, man. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, because people are always bitching about pricing about everything anyway.
Well, I mean, like I said, we're not changing anything right now, but we'll see how this progresses or doesn't progress. It might go the opposite direction. You know, let's see what happens. So.
Black Lagoon Tunes. Dave, am I able to order a standard black head shell for my JJ? I have a white one, which is why I ask.
Yeah,
yep,
sure.
Yeah.
Send me an email. FreedmanAmps@gmail.
Yep.
And I will pass it on to the person who will handle it.
Yeah, someone, Matt Harrison, Jimmy Chamberlain was a killer drummer. He really was. I loved his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Really good stuff. So I had some more questions for you, Sammy. So what about Seymour Duncan or DiMarzio pickups? You ever use them?
Before I met Wade, I have an 8-string guitar that I've used for some of the like the rhythms and stuff on the record I'm working on, and that has DiMarzio's in it. I'm not sure what model though. I think they only have a couple 8-string models, so there's not that many options, I don't think. But other than that, I've always used like standard pickups, whatever comes in a guitar. Like I've always been more of like a Gibson guy, so usually just Gibson pickups. I have an Explorer, and I've experimented with different pickups in that. I used to use a JB in the bridge of that, which is a great pickup. I think I had a Jazz in the neck for a while, but I ended up going back to just the original pickups in that. But I want to have Wade make me a set that matches my Les Paul for that guitar too, because I use that guitar live quite a bit too. But
second degree black belts.
Those are amazing, man.
Yeah, that or even the black in an Explorer, even his original black belts sound particularly amazing.
Really? I believe it, man.
The original black belts were really cool. We put them in one Explorer we had. Boy, that guitar sounded good. Phil X has it now.
Really?
And the second degrees sound really good in any sort of like Les Paul style or, you know, set neck kind of style guitar. Sound really cool.
Explorers just in general, man, they have so much wood, you know, like especially behind the bridge. Like Explorers just sound incredible.
I mean, I understand the thinking why I have the same kind of pickups, but I would do something different. I mean, it's just
to have them,
a different flavor.
Have you ever heard, Dave? Have you ever heard Wade's pickups, the Detroiters?
Yeah, you know, here's the funny thing. Everyone supposedly really liked the Detroiters, and I wasn't the biggest fan of the Detroiters. Nothing against it; it was a good sounding pickup, but I wasn't the biggest fan. It didn't work for my guitars. They have a little more P90 of a sound to them, kind of. There was something in the frequency response I didn't like of them. I liked his black belts. Second degree black belts was my fave. He's done some other stuff that was really cool. Fueyu is really cool for a hotter.
That's amazing, yeah.
Hotter pickup. He's done a bunch of custom wines over the time for me too that were cool. So.
Mark, who owns these Marshalls that I've been using, he just put a couple. I think he got a set of Detroiters and a set of second degree black belts, or maybe the original black belts. But he put them in a gold top and an old like a Sunburst Les Paul, and I mean, it just completely changed the sound of them. I could not believe the difference.
Yeah.
But
speaking of pickups, what about your pickups, Dave? When are they coming out?
Well, realistically, like they're sitting there done. They just have to go in the boxes. That there was a problem with the artwork on one. So, any second, second.
All right, that question came from Jim Flanagan.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep.
I keep saying any second. I'm sorry. It's like sometimes getting products out is interesting. So you run into all sorts of little roadblocks along the way.
It's the same with putting out records, man.
Little roadblocks, like little things, like
one after the other.
Oh, well, we got to do that now. Oh man, we didn't do that. Oh, we got to do that before we release it.
Yeah.
Always a delay. So Fisherman 6798 wants to know, Sammy, is Max Brown playing on any of your solo work?
Oh my God, I wonder if he's. if anybody watching, Max Brown is like one of my best friends from growing. He's a great guitar player. I wonder how she knows we're friends, but Max is playing bass now in this amazing like gospel group called War and Treaty. And I'm so proud of him, man, because he's really an amazing guitar player, but he got this gig on bass. It's this a guy and girl singer, they're husband and wife, and they sound like, I'm trying to think how to describe the music. Maybe like early like Ray Charles type, like kind of like throwback stuff. But Max has been playing electric bass and upright bass with them, and he's on the road he's been on the road like consistently for like the past 6 months. So I'd love to have him play on the record, but yeah, he's been playing bass for them. So I forget where he's at tonight. I think he's in like New York City tonight. But yeah, Max is a great guitar player. He's somebody to check out.
Cool. JJ Collins has a question for you, Dave. I apologize if this has been answered before or asked a million times. Probably not, JJ. Out of the Freedman 20-watt amps that you have available, which one is the best for VH, Van Halen classic rock metal? The PT, the Runt, etc.
Well, probably for what you described, either the PT or the Runt. The Runt will be a little more cutting and a little more bright than the PT. The PT, it tends to be a little squishier and a little darker. So, depending. Runt might seem maybe a little tighter, a little more cutting.
I have the Runt 20, and I love it. It gets VH. You can get the VH tones there. Hard rock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Definitely. I love that amp. I love that amp also because it has the you could record. It has a load already in it.
Yeah.
You know,
so, the cabinet emulated out.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
And it sounds quite good.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that. Who was saying it before? There was a comment. They said, "Oh, I had it circled and I lost it." But the question was, someone came into their shop or something like that and said that Freedman amps are Marshall clones, and he said, "I couldn't let that pass." I've seen that said before too. You want to address that, Dave? Because I've had that discussion.
Okay, well, you show me the Marshall that that the exact circuit I use is from. Yes. Is it Marshall heritage in the amp? Yes. Is the preamp circuit of the amp exactly any Marshall? No. That pretty much is cut and dry. So yes, yeah. Is there Marshall heritage in it? Absolutely. Love old heritage of old Plexi Marshalls and stuff. That's where it all started from. I've said that a million times for me. So it's just, how do you get it at a usable volume with more gain and stuff like that, and that's what I have accomplished with the amps. So sounds great down low.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing for playing live as well, obviously, Yeah,
absolutely. Anyone can use it, even from bedroom player. Even if it's a 100-watt amp, it'll still sound good, really super quiet. Yeah,
that's really hard to get with a a high watt tube amp, especially with serious gain in it,
Yeah, absolutely.
And then also the other thing that I've read, and I'll just say it, I've read it on the gear page where people are like, "Oh, he just took Jose's mod, or he took this person's mod and put it into a Marshall," and that's the Freedman stuff, which is bullshit too.
There's elements of some of that in it. There's elements of old Marshalls. There's other tweaks that I've done that are sort of my own thing that wasn't really anything to do with anything, No, it's not a verbatim Jose mod. It's not verbatim anything. So, I mean, how much do you have to change it before it's not that? How many parts? Come on, tell me. You know what I mean? So,
this is not the same discussion that we were having
Then don't. I mean, you know, like you just don't. You know, people like the sound. People buy the amps. They love the sound. They tell me that they love it. So, what are you gonna?
Yeah, and that was L. Scott Music. He had the comment. I had to school someone on Freedman just the other day.
I mean, you know, you have to, you know, like there's other people that are more derivative, like Jose Marshalls and things out there, like Mark Cameron or Mike Fortin. You know, he does a lot of the Jose kind of stuff. You know, that's even way closer to that stuff. So, and then Mike does some other stuff too that's not like it. So, you know, so do I. Dirty Shirley's not like those amps. So,
speaking of Mike Soldano,
how many Tube Screamers are there?
Oh yeah,
how many Tube Screamers out there do exist that, you know, in the pedal realm? And let's start talking there. You know, everyone's different take on a different circuit, and
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. You know what? Let your ears tell you.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
At the end of the day,
let your ears tell you. Take a listen, and you just decide.
Yep. So I don't know if you want to talk about it because I brought this up last time, and you said you couldn't talk about it. But there's still more like rumor mill around Mike Soldano, and that he's retiring. He's selling his building or sold his building or something like that.
I don't know what's going on exactly.
Oh, okay.
So, not exactly sure.
All right. Well, I wish him well, one way or the other.
I do too. I think, you know, Mike was an innovator in the first boutique high gain amp, I think. Well, I guess Boogie could have been the first, but the first more Marshall-esque boutique high gain amp. He was the first one.
His stuff is great. You ever play a Soldano, Sammy?
I have. Yeah, I've never used one on a gig, but I played them in guitar stores and stuff. I think what's the most famous one, like the SLO 100?
The SLO 100.
Yeah, that's a great head, man. But
yeah, the Synergy module that I have is freaking killer. I love using that.
What is that? Is that like a plugin or something?
Oh, you haven't checked out the Synergy stuff?
No.
Oh, Dave's involved with that. That's
oh, I do know what you're talking about, actually.
Yeah, the modular
preamps.
Yeah, is George Metropolis is doing one as well, right?
Yep, uh-huh.
Yeah. I checked one at his place. I checked one of those out.
Yeah, I've got one on top of my amp up there.
Okay.
And I've got the Dirty Shirley, the Soldano, and the Morgan, which is like an AC kind of thing. They're all great. Oh, really cool stuff.
Synergy line's really cool. It does some fun stuff. And with that little box, you know, you can kind of add another channel to your amp or another 2 channels, sort of.
It's an amazing idea, and it's no tubes, right? It's like completely solid state.
It's all tube.
That's awesome. Oh, it is all tube, you said?
Yeah, it's all tube.
Oh, wow. That's even cooler.
Okay, all tube. Mostly tube. There's a few solid state buffers and things that have to happen for the circuitry to work right. So,
got it. Okay.
It still sounds great. I mean, the whole thing is just killer unit. So, when are you guys coming out with more of those?
More modules?
Yeah, like the ODS that was talked about.
That's coming out shortly, I think. I don't know the exact release schedule of that stuff. I know there was a thing they had to go through with some issues with some pots they had problems with, so they needed to, you know, fix that and make sure that was solid before moving ahead with, you know, final modules, other new modules. There's an angle one that's pretty cool sounding.
Yeah, that was the other one I was interested in checking out. The angle one.
Yeah, that was a cool one. Sounded good.
Really good stuff. Very cool. X-Man wants to know, Sammy, does your dad still play guitar?
He does, yeah. My parents were actually on the road together for years. They played in the same band. My dad's primarily like a trumpet player, and my mom fronted the band. She was an amazing singer. But he doesn't play out much anymore, man. He's mostly around the house, but I know he's playing every day for sure. Mostly acoustic and stuff like that. But yeah, he still plays all the time.
I think X-Man also asked how much for lessons in person.
It depends, man. Just shoot me a message or whatever. We're friends, so I wouldn't charge you too much.
Do you have standard rates for lessons and Skype lessons and things that you to general public?
I do, yeah. I don't charge much at all. They're not even close to like Brent Mason rates or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just if anybody's interested, I am taking new students, so we can work on whatever you want.
Very cool. Yeah, well, I'll post information in the link below about how you can reach Sammy, and we'll also you can certainly look him up and find him. Buzz Wilson had a question. Didn't Seymour Duncan make a module preamp system back in the 80s? I don't remember that.
Well, yeah, it wasn't exactly the same. It was a head, the convertible head, Duncan convertible head, Seymour Duncan convertible.
Really?
And it had these little tone tweaking little plastic little modules that a tube was in, and it would go into the amp. And it was at different stages of the amp, and you could forgot how many there were in the amp, but you could tweak the tone of the amp. Same concept.
Interesting.
Not as well thought out. Yeah, but it was cool.
Yeah, Duncan. Look at Duncan doing stuff even way back then. That's cool.
Oh yeah, I think one of the endorsers, so to speak, or pictured with the amp at least, was Jeff Beck for a little while.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, long. This is early '80s, probably.
Seymour has such a long history with Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite guitar players of all time, man.
Oh man, he's amazing.
I wasn't into him so much when I first started playing, but Al, the guy who owns the studio by me, he's like a Jeff Beck nut. So he's the one who got me into him. But what's my favorite thing about him, man, is he's constantly getting better, constantly changing. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't just done the same thing since he started. You know, like now he plays completely different than like even like Blow by Blow or something like that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing.
He really. Did you ever see that Ronnie Scott's?
That's what got me into it, man. I watched that performance. Wow.
Yeah, I saw that, and then there was a DVD where he like had a tribute to Les Paul.
Yeah, okay.
Which was great too. They did all these Les Paul songs, and it just showed the versatility of this guy. You know, you can go from something from like Ronnie Scott's, where all his music, and then he's doing Les Paul licks. You know, this guy is just amazing guitar player.
You can say more with two notes than most humans can. Period.
Yeah, and never plays the same thing twice either.
And his use of the trem bar, and it's just so unique.
Yeah. I love the way he plays, man.
Yeah, he's very vocal in the way he plays. Just Blow by Blow, Wired, love that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I just got Blow by Blow on vinyl a couple nights ago, so that's what I've been cranking out.
Oh man, stuff. Gotta like the vinyl.
Yeah, I finally got a vinyl set up out here. So
there you go.
Yeah, seriously.
So my wife just asked me what I want for my 50th birthday, and I think that might be the setup. I might get some vinyl and a record player.
Yeah, you should.
I think I'm going to.
Why not? It's fun.
Yeah.
And then they can just be on the hunt for things online. Just like, oh, click, bought, click, bought.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So what have you picked up so far, Sammy? You have a big collection?
Nothing too much yet, man. I've been scrounging like the used record stores around here. So I got Blow by Blow for like $3 or $4, which is a good find. But
that is a good find.
I've also been the one I've really been listening to is BB King live at the Riedel. Have you guys ever listened to that record?
Yeah, that's great.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not I was same kind of thing. Like when I was a kid, I wasn't super into BB King, but oh my god, like that record. If anybody's listening and hasn't checked that out, wow, just the band, everything, just amazing.
That's another guy who can say so much with so little notes.
There was a video popping around on the internet. I'll send it to you, Mark, after we get off or whatever. But I think it's like BB King doing a lesson, like it's like a video lesson, like either in like the 80s or maybe like early 90s. And he plays. It's just like a 1-minute clip from that where he plays over like I think like a 12 bar or something, and he plays just the most beautiful melodic solo you've ever heard in your life. And he's talking through it. He goes, yeah, it's like, this is what I'm doing. And it's just, I'll try and I'll send it to you, but it's just amazing.
Love to see it.
Does solos, doesn't do rhythm.
Right. Yeah. Never played a chord his whole career. One of the few.
Yeah. No, you remember that guitar player I showed you, Mike Landau?
Great. Yeah. Amazing too.
He played on a bunch of BB King records.
Did he really? He was backing him up?
Yeah. He played all the chords.
It's amazing.
It's like through the 80s and stuff.
Well, that was that famous line that he was with U2, right? It was like the Rattle and Hum movie.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't play chords.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, really? He doesn't play chords. That's funny. But no, an amazing player. Amazing.
Yeah, that's a new favorite of mine.
That's cool. Yeah, I never got a chance to see him. I
saw him open up for Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh, really?
BB King was opening for Stevie Ray Vaughan, really?
That's right. How's that for a bill?
That's nuts. My parents used to play back-to-back with BB King in Atlantic City, like in the 80s. And my mom would always joke. She said he'd be eating like a steak dinner up until like 10 seconds before he went on stage. and then he'd walk out and go do the gig.
Yeah.
I
could never do that.
No, me either, man. I'd just be on the floor.
Yeah. But I don't know. Before gigs or even before, like when I have to give a presentation for work or anything, I have to, like, I can't eat anything. Like I feel like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. That's the last thing I want to have up on stage and have to go to the bathroom or something.
Yeah, that's the worst.
That would be horrible. That would be horrible. So I couldn't imagine having a steak before a gig.
Yeah, and especially like literally right until you're walking on.
Right. I once saw Buddy Guy, and he was playing guitar in the bathroom. He went to the bathroom. It's part of his shtick and his gig. It was like,
wow.
Yeah. He comes back out. He's got his wireless. He's walking down the guy was he was crazy.
That's awesome. You were talking about Landau backing up BB. A great friend of mine, his name's Rob McNally. He's a great Nashville. He's a huge session player in Nashville, but he just played on Buddy Guy's. He plays rhythm on all Buddy Guy's stuff. And he said sitting in sessions with him is just like, it's like one of his favorite guitar players ever. So he's just like freaking out, Just getting to back. I love hearing stories like that where guys get to back up their heroes, It's amazing.
Well, Tim Pierce just had a video where he was talking about backing up Santana. Doing a lot of.
Where did he play with him?
On records.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said that he had done like 3 or 4 albums with him, playing acoustic and different rhythm and stuff like that, which is really cool. That's another amazing player.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Such an underrated, like people are like, who? Tim Pierce? What? But I was like that too before I knew who he was. I was like, wow, this guy's a monster guitar player.
Really great, yeah.
Well, I turned you on to Mike Landau, so
you did, yeah.
You're like, who?
After the Alice in Chains show, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know much about him at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, really amazing.
And Oh, and by the way, they fired Alice in Chains fired that sound guy.
Did they really? That probably from your recommendation.
No, I didn't say anything.
Really? Oh man.
No. I talked to Jerry today. Funny. He was here.
Is he using a wet dry rig too, Dave? Talking about wet dry rigs.
Yes. Well, yes. He has delay in one cab.
That's okay. So got it.
One cab. Yeah.
Yeah. That's talking about
Sammy got to go with me to. I had to do these videos for not Premier Guitar. Sorry, for Sweetwater, in South Bend, Indiana, with Alice in Chains with Jerry Cantrell, and so we were doing these rig walkthroughs. We did like 3 videos in case you guys haven't seen it. Probably most of you guys have seen them.
They're great videos.
Awesome, yeah.
Sammy was there in the background, just didn't know it. But I remember standing. I remember standing side stage, and both of us. Jerry's playing. His cabinets are off to side stage, right, just in the open air, right. So you're just standing in front of him, listening to him play through his rig, and you and I were just looking at the cabinets, looking at each other, going, "Oh shit, that sounds good."
Dude, one of the best guitar tones I've ever heard in my life.
It's like sounded amazing.
Yeah, it was just incredible. Like, because his cabinets are ISO'd, they're pointing backwards, you know, just to go straight to front of house. And for its sound check, Dave and I were just standing behind him, just going, "Oh man, like,
oh man, does that sound good? Oh man."
I could. It's just amazing, man. But that's an amazing wet dry rig.
Yeah,
that's out of different rigs I've heard, man. Wow.
And he's a great player too.
Yeah, incredible, man.
The crazy rhythm riff guy, you know.
Mm-hmm. I like when he sings too now.
Oh yeah, no, he's a great singer. He's sung for years though. I mean, like, you know.
Yeah.
There's more of it now, but he was always an integral part of that sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's got great tone.
Yeah, hopefully I can get him on.
We got to get
him on. Man. God, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Well, we have this whole story that we have to tell, you know, with him, and
yeah.
I don't know if you heard about that, Sammy. We were involved with getting Jerry. Jerry had a guitar that was stolen from him back in 2001, I think, and when he was making an album, and it was a guitar that was given to him from Eddie Van Halen.
We were talking about it in Fort Wayne. Yeah, I got to play it. It was amazing.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he heard the whole story. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just drug him along, and then we proceeded to go to 2 different bars afterwards, and one of them was really special.
Yeah, that was insane.
I don't know. One of those. We were at one bar that was pretty nice and it was pretty cool, right? And then so that was closing kind of early, I guess, you know, after the show, and it's like 12 or something. And like, okay, well, I think there's another one down here. I don't know what it looks like. We walk in, it's the biggest pit that we've like just a pit of all pits, you know, and.
I liked it. I felt like I was back on the road for a second.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The worst dive in the whole town. Yeah, it was fun though.
Yeah, really bad dive and interesting, quirky people, and one guy bartender that I think was just sloshed, drunk.
Yeah, smashed out of his head.
Smashed, and like, you know, everything's in a plastic cup, you know, disposable plastic cup, and then but we figured. It all made sense. We get 2 Yingling beers or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like $4.
And it was like $4 for the 2 beers. And we're like, oh, I see why people are here. It's cheap.
Right.
Really cheap.
No frills. Just your beer. No glass.
No. That was a bit rough though, that one. But yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that Wolfgang, that was amazing. How are you involved in getting back? You saw it for sale, or
no? It wasn't me actually. This guy Tom had contacted me on Facebook, knowing because I do the show with Dave, and
I think he was here tonight. I think we saw.
Yeah, Tom Brino was in the chat. Yep.
Yeah.
And so Tom saw online on Facebook someone had posted the Craigslist ad that it was for sale for like $6,000, and he wrote online, he showed me, he was like, man, that looks like the guitar that Jerry Cantrell used to have. And then he contacted me and said, hey, check out this link. And I was traveling, and by the time I got a chance to look at it, I sent it to Dave, and then Dave was like, no, that's not the guitar. You know, and I'm like, I actually think it is. I'm like, and then Tom did some more digging, and at the end of the day, we were like, yeah, that's definitely the guitar. It was just too many.
And then I got a hold of Jerry, and I go, hey, did you have a guitar missing from blah, 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 and this gold, and we might know where it is. He's like, what?
Yeah.
He never thought he'd get it back.
Yeah. Was there a reason, Dave, why he didn't include it in the rig rundown?
It was. He talked about it.
He did?
There's 3 videos.
Oh, okay. Maybe I missed it. Because Tom had asked me. He said, oh, do you know why he didn't mention it?
No. So, it's unless they cut it out. No, we did it. We covered it.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. I know we covered it. But there's 3 videos too. So it was either the one with just Jerry, or it was the one with Jerry and I. I think it was Jerry and I.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll check it out. So. Yeah, that was cool to be involved with. And I wrote a story for it to go on the Van Halen news desk, but I'm just waiting for my buddy Jeff Hausman to publish it.
Come on, Jeff. Let's go.
Come on, Jeff. Throw that thing back up on the net there.
Are you involved in that side, Mark?
No. But I used to do another show that was involved, like had an EVH twist to it, and so I got to know Jeff Hausman, who
hold on. An EVH twist?
Okay. Yes, it had an EVH theme.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes. Sorry, I meant, yeah. And it was an all EVH show, basically. And I got to know the guy who runs the Van Halen news desk and the Van Halen store.
Oh, nice that's guy. Cool.
Yeah, good guy. But he's real busy, so he said he couldn't get to it. But hopefully it'll get posted up on the page and published. So a lot of great pictures and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, someone said they cut out the piece. I don't know why. That wasn't. I don't know why they would have done that, but
interesting. It's too bad. Well, that makes it even more of an exclusive for us to talk about it on our show. So
that's true.
One day we'll have to get them on. So they're not touring right now, Dave?
No, they're touring. They're touring. Jerry had a couple weeks off, so he was.
Oh, I see.
He was in here discussing a few things with me.
I heard their new tune on the radio. That one we were digging at the show, Dave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that song is great.
You know, the funny thing is everyone slagged that when it first came out, and funny thing is when we saw it live, it was like absolutely killer live.
The riff is amazing. The riff in that new tune is just sick.
It was pounding live. It was just like devastating live. So
yeah, I love all their new stuff.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah, Tom Brino says it wasn't in it.
I thought he talked about it in one of the videos, man. I remember watching.
We did. We did record it. We talked.
I know you talked about it, but I think they published. It's in one of the videos. I'm almost positive.
All right, we'll have to go back and look. Yeah. So
it wouldn't be the one with just me. It would be the one with Jerry and I, if it was anything. So, and it wasn't the one with just Jerry. So.
Okay.
Confusing. Lots of videos.
Question for Dave. Have you ever worked with Eric Cartwright? He also teched for Dickie Betts and AC/DC.
No.
Okay.
I haven't. I know the name. I don't think I have, at least. No.
Okay. Just looking. Someone wants to talk about the Freedman BE Deluxe X-Man, although he just left. So, but
well, it's a deluxe. All right, there you go.
Has some extra features.
It's got the Buxom Betty Clean channel. It has a dirty channel with the BE and HBE in it, where you got 2 gains, 2 masters, shared EQ for the dirties. It's got some power amp goodness, like it's got the thump knob and a response knob and a presence knob, so you got some really control over how the overall amp sounds. High-end frequency cut switches, gain structure switches, saturation switch. It's got a whole bunch of little gizmos and goodies to make it sound however you want it to sound.
I really want to check one out, man.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's just devastating.
A buddy of mine just got one, and he texts me like once a week. This Jim Becker, and he'll be.
I found a new setting.
He's like, this amp is so musical. This amp is magical. I mean, literally, I should go through his texts and just read them to you.
Oh, X-Men's still here.
Okay.
How's the half power thing work? It's a pento triode deal. Maybe not. It's cool. It maybe not the best, but it was seemingly the best way to do it on that amp. So the lower power mode is a little squishier and a little softer in texture, but it's quite good. Depends on how you want it to sound. Oh, yeah. He wants one so bad right now, he says.
Sweetwater.com.
If they have them.
Oh, sold out.
They're constantly out.
It's a killer amp. There's no doubt about it.
Sold a lot of those since they come out. A lot. Like, shockingly, a lot.
Amazing.
So
was the impetus of that, Dave, just because, like, people would complain to you and say, "Oh, I like the BE, but the boost on it's doesn't have a separate volume."
Yeah, exactly. So it was all sort of things that I had been doing custom for people over time when they asked for, my original concept when I first started doing these amps to make them kind of simple, right? And the original amps were quite simple. They had a simple clean channel on it, which was a 1-knob clean like the little guy has, and it had a BE channel, and then it had a higher gain input. But then, I want that foot switchable. Okay, we'll make that foot switchable. And then you start adding on to the house over time. And, and then you realize you need to rebuild the house. So hence the BE Deluxe. They rebuilt the house.
Yeah, it's just packed full of features.
Packed full of features, stuff that people wanted, and people responded to it amazingly well. So, yep,
it's killer amp.
And then the 100 is coming. 100 Deluxe is coming. So that will
basically the same thing.
Yeah, 100-watt version. Maybe 1 or 2 little slight differences.
So Black Lagoon Tunes wants to know, what exactly is a negative feedback in the power amp?
Negative feedback. Well, we call it the response control. It's how do I explain? How about I explain it really simply so you understand it more? So when there is more negative feedback, the amp is cleaner, the power section is cleaner, and it's a little darker and squishier sounding in nature, if I had to just describe it. And as you turn this knob up, what it does is it becomes more forward, more in your face, and brighter and punchier. So as it has less negative feedback technically, it then becomes brighter and punchier, and the gain of the power section is actually louder.
As you turn it down, you're saying?
As you turn it up.
Oh, as you turn it up. Okay.
So, which is actually less. Technically, that's less negative feedback.
Wrapping my head around that one.
Yeah, I know. How about I just describe it as sound? So down low, it's darker and squishier and softer. As you turn it up, it's brighter and punchier.
Okay.
So if I just describe it that way, you're better off.
Yeah.
Just listen. Just turn the knob and listen. So it's a really, really useful feature, actually, depending, because if you have, let's say you're going to use your 8-string like you're using Sammy and stuff sometimes. If you have a tuned down guitar with like really low strings, sometimes you need the amp to be a lot brighter and a lot punchier in general to cut through those big heavy strings. And it's really useful when it comes to that. Just so is the presence knob too, just kind of pushing it harder, and then it just pops. Wow,
that's a really good tip. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I mean, even on the even on a regular amp, the presence knob, like especially on low tuned guitars, if you just turn it up, it's like you get up 3/4 or something with those low tuned guitars, and all of a sudden the amp's really just growling at you.
That's one thing I've noticed with tracking that 8-string, man. Yeah. It's like almost like use the presence more as like the gain. You know what I mean? Like turn the gain back a little bit. And have the presence make up for it.
Yeah, and you don't need as much gain either, too, the heavier guitars, because you want it to cut more. You want it to be super heavy and cut a lot. And to turn off some of that stuff and get it more cutting.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, the B100 works with that guitar amazing, especially for tracking.
Hey, Tom Abraham's here.
Hi, I think Tim Pierce is on too, which is amazing.
That's a different Tim Pierce.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still amazing.
That's our regular user, Timothy Pierce.
There you go.
What's up, Timothy Pierce?
Tom Abraham, how are you? Tom, you'll be happy to know that Alice fired the sound guy. Well, you might already know that.
Now I need to know what the backstory is on that.
It's not much of a backstory. It's just that Tom was Alice's sound guy for years. And Tom's an amazing live mix engineer. Like, not really much better than him. It's so he's as good as it gets. Maybe there's some equals, but he's one of my favorites. And so I saw Alice a million times with Tom mixing, and they were incredible.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then this last time I saw them, there was no Tom, and there was no heritage left from Tom, like as in programs or anything on the board, and it was not as much to my liking, shall we say. Yeah. So, and then funny, Jerry told me today, guys, oh yeah, we let him go. So I'm like, okay.
Time to find someone new.
Yeah.
So you can never underestimate the power of the sound guy, man. It's for damn sure.
Oh my God, no.
Hey, did you see that video that Pete came out with just the other day or yesterday about that Wilkinson bridge that he has on his guitar?
I know about the bridge because it's been a prototype bridge on his guitar for forever.
Okay, so I
didn't see the video.
Okay, but so you know about the bridge. Looks super cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, if it's becoming a real product, then it's super cool. It works great. I mean, that guitar doesn't go out of tune. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Sammy, if you have checked it out, but I'll send you the link to it. Pete did a video recently. It's up on his page about what's the deal with my bridge on my signature guitar that he has. And did you see that?
No, but I saw some people talking about the bridge on his guitar. So
yeah,
what is it exactly? It's a Wilkinson, you said?
It's a Wilkinson bridge, and basically it's a regular 2-point like Fender style bridge, but it has these little screws up on top that lock the strings down.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a locking locking mechanism on the strings. I think it's like a little Allen key that just locks onto the strings. I said
it's quite simple. But it worked really well. I mean, Pete showed it to me, and he's like, watch this, hammering on it, and it's like cling, still in tune.
Where is the locking mechanism? It's actually on the bridge. It's not on the nut.
No locking nut. It's locking
tuners.
Wow. Okay.
And the bridge has these. You'll see. It's just like these tiny little Allen screws or whatever. And they
just lock the string to the saddle, basically.
Yeah. So I sent it to a friend, and he's like, oh, that looks similar to another product that they used to have, which was like a retrofit onto Fender saddles that would lock the saddles down or something like that.
Yeah, I think it existed at one point in time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to check one of those out, man. I haven't really messed with any locking system other than a Floyd. I don't know if you guys have any recommendations for that. Like playing like a Strat style guitar without a locking, with other than a Floyd. One's a same tune,
Yeah, I mean, there's not much. There's not really much out there.
If they come out with this thing,
if they come out with that one would be great. Other than that, the Goto 510 bridges is what we use.
Okay.
2-post bridge. They're really steel block, really good bridge. Again, it'll stay in tune so well, but it does stay in tune relatively well.
Okay.
So one thing that I had a question, and maybe you guys know the answer to this, and it's probably an Eddie thing also, but just when you have a Fender old style Fender bridge, even the 6-post Fender style bridge, and if you go to use that and you whammy on it too hard, it's obviously going to go out of tune. Is it best to leave that bridge slightly floating so you can whip it back a little bit and get it back in tune?
Yes. Ideally, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Why is that, Dave?
Well, because a lot of times the strings go flat, and if you can whip it, pull the strings, they generally just caught somewhere. If you can pull them back, or even a lot of times real good Strat players you'll see them live even pull the string with their finger and stuff.
And get it back into where it should be.
And knock it back in tune or relatively close. There's a lot of tricks for setting up a regular Fender trim to somewhat stay in tune. It's never perfect.
Yeah, I found that having it slightly floating, just a little bit, just
so you can yank it back a little.
Yeah, just kind of go and boom, you're back in tune.
Yeah, because most likely it's going to get caught in the nut. If you have locking tuners, let's say, it's going to get caught in the nut, or where the string slackens in the bridge itself. It slackens and then kind of comes out of the holes in the bridge and then kind of pops back. So the ball never sits exactly the same way.
Where it was, yeah.
Where it was. The funny thing is, years ago, Fender kind of had a solution for that, the Fender bullet strings. And because they were there wasn't a ball. It was a square little round cylindrical little piece of metal. And on the end of the string, like kind of cast almost. And if you think about that, it's like it never sits itself weird in the bridge. It was designed for the tremolos. It never unseats itself and sits itself in a different spot. It kind of sits always the same.
That's pretty cool.
But they don't make those anymore.
They don't. Huh.
Nope.
For me, I've always blocked my Floyd, man. So you just can't pull back on it. At some point, I'd love to have a guitar with full floating, but
yeah,
just with being on the road, man, I've never even tried to keep one of those in tune, going from different climates and stuff, and bouncing around in a trailer,
Right.
But the blocking thing's been a good solution for me.
Yeah.
Did
you use like a trem stopper kind of thing?
I just put a chunk of wood in there.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, but I use a Eddie detuner too.
Okay,
so
yeah.
To use one of those, you have to have it blocked, or else it doesn't work.
Yeah. I like using those too. So yeah, you definitely have to. They don't work as great if you have it in E flat.
Oh, really? That's how I use mine. It's all right. You have to adjust it There's like that little really small Allen on the side of it where you can kind of adjust how far it goes in and out. But I've got mine to work pretty well.
Oil it, adjust it, and set it up a certain way to begin with.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but it is cool pulling that thing when you're on stage and not having to unlock the fucking nut.
Yep.
So it comes in handy, but you usually have to readjust a little bit anyway, just on the Allen or on the fine tuner.
The fine tuner, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Floyd's, I talked to Floyd. I told you that day, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So
eventually,
we're hoping to have Floyd Rose on the show one day.
That would be awesome. That'd be really cool.
That would be epic. So just talking to him was like, I'm like, Floyd Rose? You know, like, what?
He's nice. Super nice guy.
Yeah, super nice guy. Very nice guy. And yeah, and so hopefully we'll be able to get him on the show. That'll be awesome. The stories he can tell. So I only have one guitar that has a floating bridge. So it's fun to use, but I mean, how often do you play a lot? You know, have you ever played with the floating bridge and like that kind of style?
I've experimented with it. Live, I don't really think I ever have. No. It's interesting. I have a buddy who does it really well. Uses the bar kind of like for vibrato and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when players can do that well, like using a Floyd for the vibrato, like on individual notes, I think that's amazing. Which it's something I feel like if I got used to it and then switched back to having just a blocked tremolo, it might be kind of a weird transition, you know? Because once you get used to something like that, it's hard to go back, you know. But I don't know. I mean, it's not like I'm missing it by any means.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How you doing on time, Sammy? You all right?
I'm good. Yeah, I might go grab a beer. You guys want anything? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, can you go to my fridge and get me one too?
Yeah, give me like 2 minutes. Is that cool?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, cool.
Well, I might leave you too, Mark, for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Now you can just talk to yourself with everyone. Hang on.
I'll look for questions. What do you guys think of the Tremel No? I've not heard of that. Who makes that, Anthony? The Tremel No. Yes, Timothy. I also use the FU Tone mods. Yeah. So R2, R3 locking nut. Floyd Rose on would be epic. That would be amazing. Hopefully that'll happen. I'm definitely working on it. Yeah, a lot of people experiment with the trems, especially on Fenders, as Biggins says. It's a big problem. That's why Floyd came out with his great product. What'd you get, Dave?
What do we had here? Delirium Nocturum with the pink elephant.
Holy crap. What is that?
It's another Belgian ale.
Really? Wow.
I'm a fan of Belgian ales. All of them have 8% or higher liquor content, though. Like drinking a bottle of wine.
Wow, that is kind of expensive. Jim Flanagan, are the FU Tone mods really worth it? So, in my opinion, first of all, you can get the same parts at FU Tone. You can get them at Floyd. Floyd sells big blocks. They sell the screws. They sell all that stuff too. So you can get all that stuff from Floyd or from FU Tone. I like the big block. I think the big block definitely helps the tone of the guitar. At least for me with a Floyd, I like a big block, big brass block on it. And I think some of the stuff works. Yes, I think it definitely helps. I don't know, Dave, what do you think? Like a big brass block and
you know what, to be honest, I've never changed a Floyd block in my life.
I haven't either.
I've used the standard one forever, and I don't know. I never overwhelmingly thought I needed to change it. So
I've heard a lot of good stuff about the FU tone stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it changes it, and I'm sure it's quite good. And depending on your guitar, it might be better or worse, or
that's a great point because it can
depending on the guitar.
Yeah, I had a guitar that I put in. So they sell not only the brass block, but they also have these inserts also for the Floyd. You know, the little blocks that go in the saddles. You can get those in titanium or brass. So I got the brass ones and put them in there, and the guitar became way too bright.
Really? Yeah, it changed it that much?
Yeah, I'm not a titanium, like there's a lot of replacement saddles out there for Tellys or Strats that are titanium, and I don't like them, generally speaking. They become very bright, just doesn't seem right. I mean, I guess it's all what you start with to begin with, you know.
Right.
But, at least on guitars, yeah. Of course, I don't like stainless steel frets either, but you know, a lot of people do. So
I like them.
They feel good.
Yeah, it's easier to bend.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about any wear.
There's some other fret alloys that you can use too, that other people use too, that they make. That are also hard like that, but not quite the stainless thing.
I can definitely hear the pinging though. That stainless steel. I don't know that. I've heard it before when you're playing and you kind of hear that little noise. You know what I'm talking about, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what people complain about, that really don't like the stainless frets. They don't like that tone.
What about you, Sammy? Have you played with stainless?
I don't think I've ever played a guitar with. What are some common just kind of like
EVH brand guitars have stainless.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the new EVH guitars too much. But I don't think I have. I mean, it's obviously a great idea, like not having the frets wear. Like I've dealt with frets wearing out, you know. So I mean, obviously, you totally get rid of that. Yours? I've had them leveled. I've had to have my black guitar leveled several times.
Yeah, so you'll be coming to a refret in the near future.
I think so. I know. The last time my buddy who built that 8-string guitar that I use, he works on my guitar for me, and he told me they're getting kind of low. He said next time you just got to do a refret, bro.
Yeah.
But so that's actually good advice. So you can hear the difference with stainless steel frets.
Yes, on the fretted notes. Now, obviously not open.
Okay.
Same open, but
you said there's like a pinging.
It's a little bit of a pinging kind of quality to them. They're such a hard metal. You know, and there's no friction. It feels like it's butter.
Really?
Which all of that's positive. That's cool.
Yeah.
But if you're not used to it, I don't know.
Yeah, there's something to it.
If your guy's really hard, like on your frets, like some guys are super hard on their frets, so that it makes sense for them to go stainless. I think Tom Pellerito changed Dave Black's frets to not stainless, but it's the other hardened metal fret. I forgot the name of it off the top of my head. And he likes them fine.
Tom's an amazing luthier, man.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, he's always done Dave stuff for as far back as they can imagine. So
that's cool.
Yeah, he's the shit. He's really good.
Yeah,
I saw the fret job he did on the Freedman guitar. I'm like, wow, that's really nice.
He refretted the Freedman guitar already?
He refretted the Freedman guitar because he likes 6100 frets, or that size fret. And the fret wire we used, although was equivalent to 6100, it was a Jescar fret, was ever so slightly smaller. And he wanted the jumbo thing. So the first thing he did was took it to him and refretted it.
He noticed that? Wow.
Yeah, he noticed that. So he also shaved down the neck and did a whole bunch of shit to make it his own. So
Dave Black's so cool, man. That's fucking awesome.
The neck is super skinny now. It's like totally a different kind of feel. It feels great though. It's cool. I mean, for that kind of neck.
Mm-hmm.
That's killer.
So he made it his own.
Yeah.
Basically. You know,
broke it
in and, you know, made it cool.
That's cool. I'm more of a small fret type of guy too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm one of those players where I'll play whatever. You know, I'm not like too picky, but for my own, like for my Les Paul, it's especially now since I've had it leveled it a couple times. Yeah, it's pretty small frets now, but.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think on the, and I wonder if Ed went this way on his Wolfgangs because he used vintage fret wire on the stainless steel.
Yeah, so that was my theory. So yes, so on the Wolfgangs, at least the American ones, correct?
Yeah.
It's a small fret wire. It's like a Fender size fret wire, small. But really, that dawned on me one day, and I'm sitting here playing the guitar that I have of his. It kind of dawned on me one day, and I go, I get it. It's E flat with 9-gauge strings. Okay, if you have really high frets, you're going to be, if you fret hard at all, you're going to be bending it right out of tune.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah,
it actually makes sense to have the smaller frets with E flat, and you know, and the kind of stuff he does. Also, like his touch is hard, but it's not
like ultra hard.
Well, his touch is hard, but it's seemingly hard for the strings that he's playing.
Okay.
But it's not as hard as some people play, because obviously if you take E flat at 9-gauge strings and you smack an E string hard, what happens?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it doesn't, you know, you have to play it just hard enough where it doesn't do that. So
yeah,
it's hard for those strings.
Correct. Yeah. I shouldn't say I'm not. I've played a couple of like the higher end like USA Wolfgangs, and they sound incredible. I mean, really great guitars. I have an old PV Wolfgang, like an old Wolfgang Special, and that's one of my favorite guitars I've ever owned.
Cool.
Yeah, I really love the neck on that thing, man. It's tiny, just go nuts on it.
Yeah.
But what guitar do you have of his now, Dave? Like a newer Wolfgang?
Hang on.
Go grab it. Let's go.
Yeah, this is a special one. I wish I had it. There we go.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
So that's the Wolfgang. This was one of the first import ones, the Japanese made ones, which weren't made very long. Small frets, and then it's signed in the back.
No, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for always being there.
Yeah, it's signed, and that's in the paint. They clear coated over it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's never coming off.
Oh, that's killer.
That's so cool.
And that's a really good one. I had my choice. I actually picked the flat top guitar. At the time, they had the USA arch topped and the Japanese one. Mm-hmm. And so this is a Japanese one technically, but it was put together by Chip Ellis. So it's kind of not entirely out of the box, so to speak.
Right. Yeah.
It's a cool one.
That's super cool.
And the Japanese ones didn't last very long. They didn't have them very long.
I gotta try that thing the next time I'm out there, man. That
it's
thing
cool.
looks awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's got to be cool.
Good. I don't play it very much, but it's cool.
It looked like it had some fret wear on the board there, or is that just is that the bird's eye maple?
No, that's fret wear. I did play it.
Yeah, I've been playing it.
Well, you know, here's the thing. That the fretboards can really get easily that way around the shop because
everybody's picking up guitars.
Well, we're just working on amps and our hands get dirty, and then we just grab a guitar to test them and stuff. And so, you know, God, the shop guitars are a disaster generally. You know, it's.
I was gonna say it looked like it.
And then they never get restrung until the string breaks. Or until it's like, all right, I've had it. I got to restring this.
Mm-hmm. It's starting to look rusty.
Like, yeah, get a little crusty.
Dan Pfeiffer wants to know, what's the Marshall behind Dave on the floor?
Which one? The one that's sitting this way? That's Mark's.
I was going to say, that looks like mine.
That's his, reissue 50. Then there's another JMP of some era over here. Then I have a whole ton of other ones over to the right, which you can't see.
Oh, yeah, and there's another one back there I can see and like peeking out.
Dude, they're everywhere. They multiply flies around here. You know, there's a couple really cool ones back here too. I got one of Doug Aldridge's is over here, and a couple from Van Halen.
No, are you serious?
Yeah, no, yeah, yep.
Man,
I just got very quiet.
yeah. The group chat went silent too.
Mark's like, I'm coming over.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting on the plane.
I'm flying out there right now.
I just when's the last time you spoke to him, man?
I haven't, not for a little while. I don't know.
Yeah.
Spoken in person, like maybe last tour, end of last tour.
Okay.
Might have texted him some point in time in between them.
But you talk to Matt Brock a lot, though.
I talked to Matt, yeah.
He works with him? Or?
Matt is his long time. Well, technically, he is his personal manager now. Okay. But he was his long time sort of tech assistant stuff, and then slowly became integral part of the organization. So
very cool.
He handles like a day-to-day business for EVH amplifiers and stuff, and all the other products and things that are going on.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say hi to two of our moderators tonight. The Guitar Guru Network, Keith Bears. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Keith.
He asked
Wait, before you go on, Keith, thank you again. You'll understand.
Cool.
Keith bought us a very nice dinner, and thank you again.
Oh, nice.
And while we were in Nashville.
I'm so sorry I missed that. I wish I could have been there. Keith's a good guy. So he asked if we're going to be on Mondays from now on, and I said,
should we?
I said no.
Should we be?
You think?
I don't know. Is Monday a better night for you guys than Fridays? Probably.
You know what? It's an interesting question.
It's an interesting question. I mean, I would think it would be because most people aren't going out on Monday nights, generally speaking. So if you want to catch it live, it probably is better choice than a Friday. But yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
we didn't think about it much. We just couldn't book Sammy on a Friday. He had a gig.
Yeah, I wanted to do Friday. I was playing Friday.
Yeah, he had a gig.
I'd love to do it.
Jim Flanagan wrote, yes, we play shows on Fridays.
Yeah, see? Maybe.
Someone wrote, no, Friday is better because work on Tuesday.
Mondays are cool.
Less Monday gigs. Mondays are cool. All right, we'll have to think about it. I get that was the original thought with Friday because we go on late and then nobody has to work the next day.
Okay.
Or most people.
That's understandable too, yeah.
So,
well, just whatever, our day is a little floating. So, we don't necessarily have, every 2 weeks sometimes gets moved around a little bit too, just because of scheduling or we can't get a guest or, or something,
Right.
We kind of floated around a little bit.
I love what Buzz Wilson wrote. I pretty much plan my life around Tone Talk, so any night is fine.
That's awesome.
That is great. I love that, man.
And with the wives, we're the most hated.
Yes. Totally. My wife's probably wondering when am I coming to bed.
What's new? She's used to that, right?
Yeah, she is. She is, especially with the show. That's for sure. We are musicians. We stay up late. That's true.
Yeah, that's totally true. Man.
So it's like the only times I really don't want to do it is Sunday, because Sunday is like although it might be the best day, is the one day I want to take off.
Right. You just want to do nothing.
I do nothing on Sunday. I try to do nothing.
I don't blame you.
What do you want to do today? Nothing.
Absolutely not.
I want to watch a little TV. I'm gonna maybe go swimming in the pool. I want to do nothing.
Exactly. Trust me.
The other 6 days a week. Well, you know what? I still answer emails on Sunday though, so I'm doing something.
You're always answering email, man.
Always. Yeah, I'll be answering emails while Sammy and I are out drinking at the bar.
Yeah.
Email for a second.
Yeah, one sec. My effects loop's broken.
Yeah, my effects loop doesn't work. Okay, well, unplug the cables. Do you get sound? Yeah. Okay, it's not your effects loop.
Yeah, and then while you're trying to answer, I'll ask just a completely unrelated thing, like, yo, so like the switches on the front. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, why doesn't my effects loop work on my Dirty Shirley? I can't get it to work no matter what. Did you turn the effects loop switch on? There's an effects loop switch.
I had that exact. It's so funny.
That's happened. I've had a few good ones, but hey, people just make mistakes and stuff. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, I did that with Howard Kaplan from
yes,
Fender.
The effects loop switch. Oh yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. So
sorry, my story had nothing related to yours. I was thinking about that.
But Sammy, so I got that EVH head.
That's the one behind you. Yeah, I was trying to ask what that was.
Yeah,
is that a 50 watt?
That's a 50 watt. Yeah.
Cool. I want to try one of those, man.
They're great. The white one, the old white ones with the 6L6. I had actually gotten the newer one, the EL34 model.
Okay.
I ended up selling it. I wasn't as happy with that model. The 6L6 model is better in my opinion. But so I got the EL34, which is the same setup as this with the same foot pedal. And I'm like, I can't get the effects loop to work for the life of me. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. I call a friend. He's like, I don't know. I think I had a friend come over and was checking it out, or whatever. Anyway, I ended up calling. I contacted Howard Kaplan from EVH.
Yeah.
Wrote him, and he's like, "Did you press the switch on the foot pedal for the effects loop?"
Oh, you have to hit it on the actual foot switch.
Yeah, there's a foot switch. It says effects.
Got it. Okay.
I was like, no, I didn't.
There it is.
You're like, oh my god.
Yes. It's like
bang my head against the table.
Yeah.
Dude, it's okay, man. Sometimes when I'm working, I cut a lot of demos and stuff at home just using Logic just on my computer. And I bang my head against the wall. I'm like, why is this doing this? Why is it not? Why am I not getting the sound?
I didn't plug the guitar in.
It's literally that. Yeah. Or, oh, fuck, my tuner is still on. I'm an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it drives me nuts. So, yeah, I don't feel bad about that, man.
Yeah.
I have had stuff over the years, like guitar tap. I remember one time, and it was with George Pahone. He was playing with the Black Eyed Peas at the time. They were doing some sort of video or some sort of live video thing or something. And he calls me and he's like, my rig isn't working. It won't switch. Nothing will switch. Nothing do it. I'm like, is there any way you can come down? And this is like, I'm about to start a barbecue and it's on a Sunday. And like literally there's people over and it's on a Sunday. And I'm like, really? All right, I'll come down. I have to drive all the way, like it was like past LAX for me. So it was like an hour away drive at least. And somewhere near the beach, and I get there. I look at it and I see the foot pedal and I'm like pressing the button. I go, yeah, it lights up and doesn't work. Then it's a ground control MIDI pedal. And then I look in the back. There's a mark with a piece of tape, and on the MIDI cable, there's another mark with a piece of tape, and it's spun a little bit to the side. I pull out the MIDI cable, and on the unit, there's a 7-pin MIDI cable, but it's a 5-pin cable. So you can physically turn it 1 pin off.
Oh, no.
So I literally unplugged it, plugged it back in, went click, click, click. I go, there you go. I'm looking at the guitar tech. Fixed. Oh. I drove an hour there, hour back on a Sunday because the guitar tech had plugged the MIDI cable in improperly.
Yeah. It's always something like that.
And it's marked. I literally a piece of tape with a line and a piece of tape with a line. Line up the 2 lines.
Sucks. Yeah, it sucks.
I was calling George, like, I go, you know what it was?
What did you say?
No, what? Your tech plugged the MIDI cable in backwards, and I had to drive all the way down there and back. It's okay, they got a big bill.
For unplugging a cable and plugging it back in?
Literally, that was a bill from the time I left to the time I got back. And it was, and I charged overtime. This was on a Sunday.
It was on a Sunday.
You know what that reminds me of? I literally saw this today.
I'm just like, if you're that stupid, I'm going to charge you that much money.
Dave, I'm totally, I mean, it's ironic that I saw this today. It was about a ship. It was about a ship that the engine couldn't work, right? And the owners of the ship had brought in all these mechanics. They could not figure out for the life of them why the ship wasn't working, why the engine wasn't working. They finally brought in this local guy who was like an expert, whatever. He comes in, he breaks out, he looks at the thing for a minute, whatever. They're all looking at him. He takes a hammer and he taps on this one area. The engine starts working and he leaves. And they get his bill and it's like for $15,000. And they dispute. They write him back and they said, why is the bill so high? Can you give us an itemized description, an itemized bill of what you did? And he basically wrote, hammering was like, $100, and the rest of the bill was my knowledge and skill.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is like, go ahead, find somebody else who's going to be able to figure that out.
Yeah, you already had a bunch of guys try to figure it out, and you couldn't figure it out.
Right. So that's why the bill was very high, because I'm the only guy who can figure it out.
I used to have a Mercedes for a while, an older Mercedes, and I used to take it to this one Mercedes mechanic, this kind of independent guy. And he was an older guy that worked on these cars for years, and he was great, unbelievable. I could just diagnose it right away, like boom. And same kind of idea, right? And he goes, yeah, the dealerships bring me cars because they can't fix them.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
They have no idea how to fix it.
And
he goes, and it's because it's like all the dealership mechanics are just young mechanics. They haven't had a lot of years experience. They're like fresh out of school with no practical experience. And they go, they just can't fix it. And he goes, it takes years and years and years of knowledge to know what's wrong, to see it over and over and over again, and you learn. It's just that way with amps too, and it's that way with rig building and stuff and things like that. It's like, oh yeah, those two things aren't going to play well nice with each other. How do you know that? Trust me.
Just trust me, yeah.
Just trust me. I've already gone down this road. I know what to do to fix it, and I know how to do it.
Have you ever been in a situation where it's just you could not get it working, figure? No, yeah, I was about to say.
No, I don't think so. Not at this point. Maybe early on in your career or something,
Yeah.
But not at this point. No. There's always a solution. Just how elaborate that solution might get. Which sometimes, yeah, you know. Yeah, hammer. That's also known as the impact adjustment.
The hammer?
No, it's an impact adjustment.
There you go.
Hey, yeah, I need to use that more often.
The transformer had a bent transformer. How'd you fix it? Oh, well, it was impact adjustment. We made an impact adjustment. It was all good. You don't want to see what the impact adjustment was, but
yeah, you don't want to see me doing it.
Yeah,
that's great.
See me doing it, but yeah, it's like when if a transformer is bent and the legs are bent a little bit from shipping or something. It happens quite frequently with amps. It's like, well, bending it back, yeah. Well, you know, take the tubes out. You can literally take the transformer. You take the amp chassis with the transformer on its side, and you're banging it on the bench as hard as you can, and the transformer just bends right back into shape.
Amazing.
It's fine, you know. Of course, then you're going to put the tubes back in, and then, you know, go through the amp to make sure everything's solid. You know, but you know, it's impact adjustment.
That's awesome. I'm going to use that quote from now on.
Yeah, that's the fancy way to say I fucking hit it as hard as I could.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I know you addressed this before, Dave. Woody Garcia asked, "Hey, Dave, when is the Mic No More coming out, and how much will it cost?"
Mic No More is a couple months. It'll be out. And don't quote me exactly, but I think we're going to try to put it out at a low cost. $99, I think. That could slightly change, but I think we're shooting for $99. So
very nice.
It'll be affordable. We just thought we'd make that one really affordable. So
cool. That's great. Jim Becker just got.
There was a question in here. I saw that someone was. What's the difference between that? I'm not going to find who it was now, but they asked what was the difference between a isolated power supply and having like individual one-spot power supplies for every pedal.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
Same concept. That would be an isolated power supply. Although the one-spot little brick, the little one-spot adapter, don't use that ever. You can use, if you want to use you can use their bigger power supplies. Those are great. They're fine. But the one-spot adapter actually has a little bit of switching power supply noise, a little bit of buzz that can inject into your sound. Not the greatest thing. I mean, I think their other products are really good. I think the CS12 power supply, the CS7 power supply are all really good power supplies. I've used those in rig builds. They're fantastic. But the one spot still has that problem unless they've addressed that and fixed it recently. Better not to use that.
Yeah, I'd recommend using ISO power as much as you can too, man.
Yeah.
Especially
isolated power supply is the only way to go. Get Freedman one or one of the other ones I mentioned, or you know, depends on what your needs are.
Yeah, especially if you're playing like me. I played a lot of grimy clubs, you know, over the past few years, man. If you have a place where you're playing dirty power and you try to use a one spot, man, it's just like brutal.
Yeah,
just all noise.
Yep. But again, they're bigger. Their bigger power supplies are quite good, so there's no issues with them.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, actually, Brian Wampler had done a video about that, which was really compelling. If you want to check out
the Boss adapters that are also a switching power supply that you can buy, the standard PS series power supplies that they make, those are perfect. If you need a single adapter, just buy the Boss one.
The Boss one's good. Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. If you just need a single adapter and you just need, you know, for one pedal or whatever, the Boss one's dead silent. It works perfectly. I talked to Yoshi about that. He goes, yeah, that was, he had it made custom to do that.
He's a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
3score10 has a question for you, Sammy. What did you think of the machine shop since you jammed there?
Oh man, my band kind of like grew up playing there, man. That's a really, for anybody who doesn't know or hasn't heard of that club, that's a really famous rock club in Flint, Michigan. It's just it's one of those clubs where a lot of bands play it on the way up, you know. And the club owner was super cool to us before we put our record out. He'd put us on all the shows, like opening up for the bigger bands that were coming through, you know. And that's one of my favorite places to play in the whole world, man. Everybody's cool. The owner, Kevin's great. All the bartenders, everything, man. Just awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a bucket list place for a lot of people, man. People travel from all over to go to that club.
And it's in Detroit?
It's in Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
So about an hour outside of Detroit.
Very cool. There was another question that I had for Dave. Oh, no. I lost it. Oh, well.
Yeah, there might have been some other ones, too, that I'm kind of looking through the chat right now and trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. I'm moving through it myself. So someone wants to know what the Mike No More is.
Mike No More is the same speaker emulation circuit out of our Runt series amps. Cabinet emulator box, DI box. So you don't have to mic up your amp, essentially. You still need to have it plugged through a cabinet, though.
That was L. Scott Music.
Yeah.
Justin Espinoza, has Sammy played one of your G-type guitars or your
G-type?
I think he's talking the solids, the set neck guitars.
I haven't. Dave, you were just telling me about them, though. I'd love to try one.
Yeah. This NAMM, you'll try it.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
What were they called again? The Type D?
The what? No, it's Metro D.
Metro D. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's the name of it? That's cool.
Yeah. Metro Detroit.
Oh, perfect.
Baby. That's where it came from.
Yeah, I love all the guitars you have out, man. The ones I played at NAMM, the ones I've tried around here, man. All great. I've never played a set neck one though. You haven't put any set neck out.
They're just like creeping into the stores, and you know, Marty's super slow at getting stuff, so
that's cool. He was the first one to have Freedman
trying to fix that
in Detroit though. Yeah, no doubt.
We're trying to fix that. So we're trying to do a nice display there for all the Freedman stuff. So with a little background story and everything between the two of us, and
that'd be great.
All that kind of stuff. That'd be really good. Yeah. Of course, I'm gonna have to. I don't know what I'm gonna do to make it have to make it happen. You know how that is around there, right? It's like, do I have to fly out and do it myself?
And just put it all together.
Yeah, put it all together,
man.
Or I'll pay you and Dave Black to go out there and set it all up.
This is set the rig up. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, this is what I'm envisioning. Just put it in that spot and like tell them, you know, and lock it down.
That is my favorite music store, man. That one night we were up there and he was bringing down some of the vintage stuff that he's got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For anybody watching, Motor City Guitar in Detroit, there's just like this unbelievable, not only an unbelievable amount of stock, but Marty's just got an amazing collection of like I'm just a vintage gear nut, so like some of the stuff he has is just like, oh my god.
Incredible. Yeah, and often it's the kind of old school store where like in the corner, back in the way corner underneath 5 amps, you'll find, what's that? What's that over there?
Oh yeah, that's been here forever. I don't know.
It's been here, you know, yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Dude, how much you want for it? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
you don't know.
It's like a 71 original Marshall cab or something, or like, yeah, it's just amazing.
I've asked him a few times, and that one cab I keep asking him about, and the cab is still there. I'm like, I'd buy it from you. Come on, what are you doing?
I'm looking to find a vintage Marshall cab right now. Just to have.
Yeah, I want one myself. I don't have any more vintage ones, like really old ones.
I thought you had one.
Well, okay. I do. I have one from the early 70s that's stripped. That's my main cabinet, but it doesn't have original speakers. So I'm looking for something with original speakers, or I need to buy original speakers. And actually, I have an older slant cabinet that's completely destroyed also that I could restore and put original speakers in it. So, okay, maybe I have some.
You want something original.
What's your favorite like vintage speaker, Dave? Do you have a favorite?
Well, here's the thing about that is they're all, with age, they're all sound different. You got to just listen to the damn cabinet.
You just got to listen individually. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of do because, you know, sometimes they sound like crap after a while, even if they're old. I mean, it doesn't mean it sounds good.
Right.
You know, you have to kind of just listen.
Right. It's just kind of cabinet by cabinet.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So
I just played a really old 60s Marshall, a straight cab. I'd never heard one of those in person. That's a really cool. I mean, it's not as much high end as a typical slant from the 60s, you know, but really, really interesting sound.
Yeah. At this point, the speakers are so old and so abused, generally speaking, over time that they're sometimes they're kind of nondescript sounding, kind of dark and just kind of woolly and not always great. So you have to find the ones that are great.
Right. They're broken in just enough. Yeah.
Also, the cabinets that my favorite cabinets are always the one if you just bang on them with your hand and they seem really light and hollow. Those are always the best sounding ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good tip too. The
ones where they're not too solid sounding. They just have this like hollow knock to them, sort of when you bang on them. They just have some sort of magical little kind of thing about them.
I'll be damned. That's cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick, refresh my drink. Fisherman 6798. Sammy, you did a video clip once playing a guitar of your grandpa's from the 40s. Do you own that guitar?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I have that right behind me, actually. Let me grab it. 1 second.
Okay. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, this is it right here. It's an ES 125. My grandpa got it in Belleville, Illinois, at a music store. It's the first year they made an ES 125. And it's got drop my mic. No, but it's got a really old P90 pickup in it, so it sounds good.
That's cool.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. But
super awesome.
It's really cool, man. It's got like one of the bridge on it's hard to make it stay totally in tune, you know.
Of course, yeah.
It sounds amazing though. Yeah, nothing like it. I think it's either a 40. It's the first year they made them. I think it's like a mid to late 40s.
Wow, that's amazing. That's cool. It's beautiful. It's in great shape.
It is in pretty good shape, man. I replaced a couple of the knobs. It had like an old Gretsch knob on it for a really long time.
Right.
But so I found like an older Gibson knob that I threw on it. But other than that, it's totally original.
That's cool.
That's a cool question. I'm surprised somebody knew about that.
Yeah, right? I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, my dad's had it forever, but last time I was visiting my parents, I took it home on the plane with me, and it's got a really old it's got like a leopard skin case. It's got the original case too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was walking through I felt really probably cooler than ever walking through the airport with a leopard skin old Gibson case or cheetah print or whatever.
Right, that's super nice. Yeah, you missed it, Mark.
I know. I'm sorry I missed that.
Nature called.
How to take care of business.
Vinny Moretti's here.
Hey, Vinny.
I didn't see you earlier. Maybe you were here earlier. I don't know.
I think I saw him a little bit earlier. Oh, I'm seeing the back video of the guitar. That's cool. You know, I actually just got so unfortunately a friend of mine, a really good friend, my best friend, his father passed away, and he was a guitar player from back in the 80s when I used to go over his house when I was in high school. His dad had guitars and stuff. And they asked me to sell some guitars for them because his dad passed away. So I got rid of some guitars for him, and then they called me and said they found another guitar under the bed, and it was a classical guitar. That's a 1962 Guild Classical, and so they gave it to me, and I strung it lefty.
Wow.
With nylon strings, and it sounds amazing. Really cool guitar.
I'm sure it sounds incredible. Guild acoustics, especially
those are amazing.
Older ones, yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
I almost bought one about a year ago. There was a used one from the 70s, like an old jumbo Guild at Guitar Center just by my house, and I almost bought it. I was gonna flip some stuff to buy it, but I didn't. I really wish I would have.
Yeah, they make some great stuff. Yeah, it was made in the original Hoboken, New Jersey factory, and I was like, oh, this is super cool. Not an expensive piece by any stretch, but it sounds great.
Amazing. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm looking for fixture questions here. Jim Becker, Dave, Major League ass kissing. The BE50 is incredible. Inspiration every time.
Thank you.
It can pretty much do it all. Thank you, sir. That's awesome.
Thanks for buying it.
That's what I was. That's what I was talking about before.
Yeah.
Jim, good guy.
I like hearing that. It's good.
Let's see. I'm going to go through questions and see if there's anything else. Hey, did Pete get back from Japan yet, or is he still there?
No, he's still there.
He's been there.
I love seeing videos from what he's doing, man. That's so cool.
Yeah, he's there forever.
He loves it there.
Yeah. Although it's hotter than hell there right now.
Oh, really? And he just had there was a typhoon.
Yeah. Like Japan in the summer, I went there once in the summer, and I'll never go back ever again in the summer.
Oh, really?
Literally like 110 degrees and 80% humidity.
Wow.
Something like that. It's just like crazy humid and crazy hot. Pretty much take a shower, walk outside, forget the shower. It's over with. You're taking another one in your sweat.
Well, it's pretty much like that here in Florida too, but not 100.
Not like that. Not as hot. Not as hot.
Yeah.
I've been to Florida a bunch in my life. Not as hot.
That's Japan. I didn't know Japan gets that hot, man. That's like a dream of mine to go there, but
Japan gets that hot in the summer. Just don't go in the summer.
okay.
If you can avoid it. And it's even more brutal if you got to play. I went there for a Summer Sonic Festival, which is, a big, massive festival they do every year. 4 large stages with multiple headliners and multiple bands going in. And they do it in 2 spots. They do it in Osaka and Tokyo. And I remember the Osaka one, we were on an outside stage. So you're outside. That's not good.
Yeah.
Luckily, there was like facing some water, so there was a breeze coming off the water, but like a hot breeze. Like in your, I was a guitar tech for the Offspring for that, and you're tuning the guitars, and as you're tuning the guitars, just sweat is dripping onto the guitar.
That sucks.
If there's one point in time in your life that you wish you would wear a stupid headband,
that's it.
It's like now I understand what those are supposed to be for. Because they look dumb as hell, but you know what? I would have rocked one if you had known in advance. Sweat arm cuffs and sweat band on the head would be perfect because it'd at least catch it from dripping on the guitar.
That sounds brutal, bro.
It was pretty brutal. By the literally end of the day, you're walking back to the dressing room or whatever, and you're just literally, you took a shower and you're wet. You're just soaked, but to the bone. you know, like if you performed and got off stage, you're soaked to the bone, you know?
I know, man. It's brutal enough doing like the summer. The outdoor festivals in the summer alone are just like, I mean, you're just soaking.
Like you're gonna die.
yeah. Halfway through the gig, you're just like your guitar is soaked, your body, everything, you know. So let alone,
soaked, and it's like, give me some more water and a fan, please.
Yeah, seriously, I can only imagine. I did not know Japan's like that.
Me either. I had no idea.
Yeah,
extremely hot. Even our Japanese distributor is like, yeah, I don't go there summer. Or I try to avoid it, you know.
We just got word that Pete's pedal board got fried, and he needs you to go out to Japan for him.
Nope.
That's what L. Scott Music said. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Talk about overtime pay.
Yeah. Fly me first class. We won't talk about it.
Yeah, meet you in Okinawa.
I'll repair for free if you fly me first class and put me up. And
that's quite the trip. I've never been. I want to go very badly one day.
Yeah, it's like a dream of mine too, man.
So Ronnie Schreiber has a question. What was the coolest thing that you saw at Summer NAMM, Dave?
Oh, that you would assume that I got to walk around. Like I said, you assume I got to walk around. You know, frankly, I don't know. I didn't really get to walk around. So I walked a little bit and saw a few friends, but I didn't. There seemed like there was a bunch of little companies, you know, tons of little companies producing some cool gadgets and stuff. But I mean, I saw those new EVH guitars.
That was fun. The Frankies.
Yeah,
that was sorry, the 78s.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see those in person, Dave?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they were hanging in the wall there.
And Chip Ellis was there too. Yeah,
I didn't see Chip, but no. But I mean, I saw that guitar in the making like 2 years ago.
Wow.
Something like that. So, you know, it's been in the making a long time.
Wow.
Really, really cool.
And you want to know something interesting? It has a brass block on the bridge.
Does the original one?
Well, Ed didn't remember. So, they found some pictures where it clearly showed that there was a brass block on that guitar at one point in time on the bridge. So they went with the brass block.
Gotcha.
Wow. Yeah, God knows when he put that on.
It's like investigation, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It could have been changed 500 times, you know? So at one point in time, it had a brass block. So according to the picture.
Interesting. Yeah, because I remember that I saw the advertisement that did say brass block on it.
Yeah.
Interesting. And it came with a can of oil.
That's really cool.
Yep.
For his for the brass nut.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. I was trying to think if there's anything else that came out at Summer NAMM that I had heard about. I know last Summer NAMM was when that Ox came out, which was cool, but yeah, I don't think there was anything else that I'd heard about that really got me going, except for that EVH guitar.
Right.
Yeah, that thing looks awesome.
Buzz Wilson has a cool question, and I know I have an opinion on it. Opinion. No, this is an easy one. Opinions on roasted caramelized maple necks.
There you go. I'm gonna hit the bathroom real quick too, guys. One sec.
Okay.
Opinions on roasted caramelized maple necks. How about just roasted necks? Well, it takes all the moisture out of the wood. It's more stable. That's about it. That's my opinion. It takes. I mean, it's cool. It's good, but it's not necessarily needed.
Mm-hmm. It's I like it. I think it's a very cool feel. It feels different than.
It's harder.
Yeah,
than wood.
Mm-hmm.
It also can, if you go too far, can make the wood brittle. If you go too far with it, it can. If you go too far, it's easier to break. But
I can see that.
Probably not going to break it.
Right.
So I mean, it's a good thing. And then the same argument you can have for quarter sawn or flat sawn necks. So a lot of people say quarter sawn, and I say flat sawn.
Oh, really?
Flat sawn neck. Well, you know what? Every Fender ever made, you know, in the old days, there's a flat sawn neck. There was no quarter sawn necks. So is the 60 Strat not good enough? I think it is. I haven't seen that much difference between the two, to be honest. And some people will argue that maybe there's a tone difference between the two. I'm not going to say a comment on that. So I just stick with the flats on necks.
Mm-hmm.
It's worked for millions of years now. Well, not millions, but it's worked for a long time.
Do they say that quarter sawn necks are more stable?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true.
Well, I know on the EVH they have a quarter sawn. The USA's have quarter sawn necks.
Yeah. But all the Fenders, all the classic Fenders from the '60s and everything, flats on necks.
Interesting.
And they're still around.
Have you seen the guys making cabinets out of antique radio cabs?
Yes.
Huh.
Analog Outfitters or audio or something. Analog Outfitters, I think.
Oh yeah. I did see those guys. They were at
Super
Summer
cool.
NAMM. Yep.
Super cool. It's fun.
Terry Haynes, got to bounce, but love your show. Never heard of it before. I am subscribed now. We'll be back for future shows. Great job. Oh, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Got a bail. Equinox said. Looking for any other questions. And maybe
I think we're probably pretty good.
Maybe we'll bolt because I think we're going on over 3 hours.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
That's fine.
Well, Sammy, man, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you guys for having me, man. This is really cool.
No, it's great. I really had a pleasure getting to know you and learning about your music and all your stuff. I'm looking forward to hearing your album come out.
Thanks so much, man. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to hear it for sure. So hopefully I'd love to come back on sometime too. So
oh yeah, definitely.
Check Sammy out. Check Sammy out on his Facebook and all that. You have your contact information that people can get in touch with you for lessons or anything.
Yeah, either I'll post my info in the comments when we get off, my email and all that. Usually email is probably best.
Okay.
But
do you want to just say it right now and then you post it later also?
Yeah, it's just sammyboller@gmail.com is easiest, or Facebook and all that too. Okay. Just Sammy Boller on Facebook.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we'll definitely love to have you back on. Have Wade come on also.
Oh yeah,
that would be awesome. We'll do a double show.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, Dave, reach out to him. Have him
come on.
Or give me his contact info, and I'll reach out to Wade, and we'll set it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sammy, thanks so much, man. You're a really great guy, and I definitely think your playing is awesome. So
thanks, man. Likewise.
Thanks for coming on, Dave. You have a great night. Feel good.
All right, I will. Sorry, I was
texting.
Someone was texting me, and I got distracted for a second. See, I'm easily distracted.
Well, everybody have a great week. It's a Monday. We'll take it under consideration if we're going to do Monday night shows from now on. We might do it, and we'll be in touch about our next guest and next show. So you guys have a great week, and we'll talk soon. Sammy, hang on. Guys. Just hang on real quick while I hang up. Okay.
Cool.
Have a great week, guys. Take care.